and audio on KMAS.com. Be part of the process. Send us your questions for the candidates to KMASnews@KMAS.com or bring your questions with you to the broadcast. There are 20 candidates running for local offices, the mayor of Shelton, plus the commissioner of finance and accounting, in addition to the port of Shelton, with one commissioner race and 10 candidates running for 4 positions on the Shelton School District Board. KMAS wants to thank the Government Affairs Committee of the Shelton Chamber for their participation in this year's forum. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Hi, this is Shannon Nordstrom.
And I'm Russ Evans. No matter what car you drive.
2004 Bonneville.
77 Caprice. 95 Ford Windstar.
Or what system is affected.
Air conditioning. It's leaking some oil. EGR valve.
You should listen to the Nordstrom's Under the Hood show with the Motor Medics.
Saturdays on AM 1030 KMAS and FM 104.1. If it's a regular maintenance question or you need to repair your engine or transmission,
listen to the Nordstrom's Under the Hood show or check us out at underthehoodshow.com.
Ascend Roofing Company in Shelton's on top of it. 868-2730. Roofing work that speaks for itself.
Hey, just a little note to say thank you for the outstanding work that you, Dennis, and especially Jorge and the crew performed for us on our roofing project. On a scale of 1 to 10, we rate it at 10.5. It was a fantastic feeling from start to finish. Your company is a first-class operation and will definitely give your name to all of our friends and family if they're in need of your services.
You could be the next happy customer by calling Ascend Roofing. 868-2730.
Tyson took advantage of a misplayed ball and his speed to touch them all.
Lined up the left field line to Jesus in pursuit. He dives, and he missed it. Escobar scores. Dyson around third. Dyson with an inside-the-park home run.
On KCSP, and that was the second inside-the-park homer in that game. Rays Logan Forsythe and an inside-the-parker that resulted in Alex Gordon injuring his groin. Royals beat the Rays 9-7. In Los Angeles, pitcher Clayton Kershaw had Phillies bats waving at air.
The 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball got him looking. Strike 3. Kershaw with a season-high 13 strikeouts.
And Kershaw gets the complete game shutout, as heard on KLAC, and the Dodgers get the 5-0 win over Philadelphia. The Cardinals trailed 5-4 at Wrigley Field with 2 outs in the 9th until...
A swing, and there's a drive. Hit deep to left field. Way back. It's a gunner. Peralta gives the Cardinals the lead.
On KMOX, St. Louis stuns the Cubs 6-5. In Denver, Mike Trout took advantage of the thin air, smacking 2 homers. He has 24 on the season. The Angels snapped the tie in the top of the 9th inning.
It's a ground ball that's going to get through on the left side for a base hit. A run will score. The Angels have the lead. Giavotella does it again.
On KLAA, the Angels win 3-2. On the south side of Chicago, Adam Eaton attempted a bunt on the first pitch, but the second...
The 1-0, a swing and a high fly to right. This hit well. Going back, Batista at the wall. He goes deep. Eaton wins it on a home run. Light it up. Sox win 11.
On 670, the score, Sox topped the Jays 7-6 in 11 innings. To the NBA, 5 days ago, DeAndre Jordan all set to sign a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Mavericks. 5 days later, Jordan had guests over his house, among them Clippers head coach Doc Rivers and owner Steve Ballmer. They convinced him to stay in L.A., signing a 4-year max deal worth up to an estimated $88 million. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
Yafayette. That's who it was.
Really?
Yep. Donald. I never knew anything about the USFL until last night. Yeah, I'm upset that I missed it in the 80s as a kid.
Yeah, it was cool. It was exciting.
30 for 30 documentary, ESPN I watched called Small Potatoes, Who Killed the USFL.
Whoa.
They were talking about bandit ball down in Tampa, and Burt Reynolds.
Tampa Bay Bandits.
The fact that the 3 Heisman winners in a row went to the USFL.
They were a player.
It was pretty exciting. Yeah. And then Trump came in and wanted to move it to the fall, and he was the one.
Oh, man. Well, that's a good one.
It was a really good
USFL, I remember them.
Yeah.
They stayed a lot longer than all the others.
Yeah.
Well, except for the AFL.
Right.
The American Football League. But the USFL, boy, I tell you what.
If you're not a sports fan but enjoy stories about passionate people engaged in their activity of choice, These 30 for 30s on ESPN are. I have yet to watch one that I've gone, that was a waste of my time.
Yeah, even when it's somebody that I'm not too familiar with or a sport that I'm not that familiar with. It's still very good documentaries, in-depth, in-depth profiles of people and events, and there you go. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 11 minutes past 6. I'm Dale. He's Jeff. It is Daybreak, and this is News Radio KMAS. All right, at last count, and I'm glad that this was backed up by none other than the Associated Press and the Olympian this morning.
Okay.
But at my count, Seattle went 0 for 14 runners in scoring position yesterday. Is that a recurring theme? You bet it is. It's woeful. I think it's got to be harboring on a record.
That has to be a record.
For Major League Baseball, the amount of times that we squander opportunities to score. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So for other folks who that's people on second and third.
Yeah, people. You're in scoring position when you're on second base or closer.
If you could get there, even based off maybe a single or a deeper infield hit.
Yeah,
someone so they could get some running.
Yeah. Any base hit would help.
That's amazing.
Usually would score. A nice hard line shot or something like that. Anyway, so 0 for 14. You know where this is going? Yes. Seattle lost the game and the series to the Detroit Tigers yesterday. 5-4 was the final in the game, and 2-1 in the series. Jeff Marte, an RBI double for his first major league hit, and then a home run. So he had a pretty good day yesterday. Not bad for the Rook, and that sent the Tigers over Seattle 5-4. That's not the only thing that sent Detroit over Seattle, but that was one of them. Meanwhile, Seattle's Nelson Cruz has the longest home run in the major leagues this season. And Miami's Giancarlo Stanton has the 3 longest in the National League. This is according to the sport's new StatCast computer system. Major League Baseball announced its first season leaderboards yesterday. Cruz hit a drive that was projected to be 483 feet against Texas on April the 29th.
That is amazing.
That's a long shot. That's a moonshot, baby.
Yeah.
Wow. So, nearly 500 feet. That is a pretty big hit. That's the upside of that whole story. We will let you know that Seattle will finish up this portion of the season with 4 games against the scintillating Los Angeles Angels. They are hotter than hot right now, I believe on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. And then the All-Star break comes. So today, tomorrow, and all weekend against the Angels at home, we'll have the first pitch a little after 7 tonight, pregame at 6 for you as the Mariners will roll out Felix tonight. Should be a pretty good game.
Okay.
Felix going up against Garrett Richards, who's looking for his 10th win on the season, 9-5, and a 3.35 ERA. Felix right now is got a 3.02 ERA and is 10-5, looking for win number 11. And one other quick note for you is we are a Washington State Cougar affiliate, and we'll have our Cougar football play-by-play for you again coming up this season. There has been a change in the booth. Oh, wait, Bob Robertson's still there.
Okay.
All right, as sure as the sun will come up tomorrow, 89 years old and going strong. Now, he doesn't do the play-by-play. He's given that up a couple of years ago. But he's there to lend support and be part of the broadcast. However, the big change is Matt Chazanow has been hired as the play-by-play announcer for the Cougs basketball and football and baseball games, as it turns out. He replaces Bud Namick on the football and men's basketball broadcasts. And so we've got Bud that shows up every once in a while and says, you're listening to Daybreak. We'll have to get Matt to do one of those for us.
We will.
So there's your sports notes here this go around. Jeff, what kind of weather? It's a little chilly and cool this morning.
It was quite a different change. I felt like it was about ready to rain this morning on my way in. 57 now and cloudy. So yesterday's high was 86, and they're saying about 83 today, so still warm. Tomorrow, 75. Saturday, 70. Cloudy and 70 on Saturday.
Really?
75 on Sunday. And then looking ahead, just to see what's up here. Next Saturday, the 18th, This is a long ways away, but still it's interesting to note. Thinking 76 and maybe 0.3 of an inch of rain. So we could have some rain in the forecast in the future. But right now it's 57.
I'd like to just stand out in the rain right now.
Just remember what it feels like.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
We have a hose. I can just spray you with that.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line by email or Facebook. Now, from the gateway to the Olympic Mountains, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
6:17 here at KMAS.com. Good morning to you. Got a great show for you. We are going to talk to Lou Schmidt in about a half an hour about the garden tours that are happening this weekend.
Oh, man, that's happening tomorrow. No, Saturday.
It'll be a nice day. A little cloudy. Perfect for walking around.
I've been trying to make today Friday twice already today. I know where my head is.
Good luck.
All right, but yeah, that garden tour is very special and very cool this time of year. A chance to go out and see some designated gardens, and people have spent so much time and work on making these things absolutely beautiful. And here's a chance to help support the Master Gardeners operation here in Mason County, and also to take, reap the benefits of enjoying some of these gardens that people work so hard on. By the way, a little movement in Olympia, ladies and gentlemen.
I heard about this.
It's either light at the end of the tunnel or a train barreling down on us. We're not sure. Senate is expected to vote to delay the class size initiative, the final component of a 2-year, $38 billion state operating budget signed by the governor last week. Today's vote comes after a week-long standoff threatened to blow a $2 billion hole in that budget, does clear the way for lawmakers to adjourn their third, and we might mention record-breaking legislative session. Well, we'll talk. I think Drew McEwen is scheduled to check in with us a little later on this morning. We'll get his take on things there in Olympia.
Let's see, some other stories that are happening around the Northwest here today. State health officials say a Benton County woman in her 50s has the first reported case of West Nile virus here in the state this year. Although most cases of the illness happen in south central Washington, the mosquito species that transmit the virus can be found all throughout the state. Nationally, 6 states reported West Nile virus infections in humans this year.
What? Ooh. West Nile virus is hard. It's hard to imagine you talking about that in July.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a year-round thing. We just don't think about it much in the summertime. Seattle City Light, 3 of its employees injured when they tried to install a ground rod at the Seattle substation. Triggered a power outage that affected nearly 10,000 customers in Seattle. Power has since been restored. Good for them. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, setting the stage for your Thursday on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Good morning.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Kyle Montgomery with the NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Huge development in the Jason Pierre-Paul story. The Giants defensive end had his right index finger amputated Wednesday after July 4th fireworks incident. NFL media insider Ian Rappaport says this was JPP's decision because it will accelerate his recovery. He could be back on the field in fewer than 2 months, but for now, Pierre-Paul is still in the hospital where he's going to stay for the next couple of days. Pierre-Paul has not signed his $14.8 million franchise tag. And the legend of J.J. Watt continues to grow. The top 100 players countdown wrapped up, and J.J. Watt sits atop the list. Watt was voted by the players as the Player of the Year, marking the first time a defensive player comes in at number 1. Filling out the top 5 featured Eagles running back DeMarco Murray and a trio of MVP-caliber quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
If an overflowing trash can or decorative mailbox have felt the wrath of your rear bumper, it's time to pick up the Peak Wireless Backup Camera now at Napa for only $79. Not only is it half off the regular price, it's easy to install, which is more than we can say for a new mailbox. The Peak Wireless Backup Camera, just $79. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 7/31/15.
Life after military service is different. Many veterans find transitioning difficult, feeling lost and uncertain about the future. These feelings don't take away from a veteran's strength, courage, or sense of duty. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, the power of one person, one connection, one act of compassion can make a difference. For free 24/7 confidential support, call the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255 and press 1, or visit veteranscrisisline.net.
Weekend Warrior Specials at Napa. This weekend, save on popular weights of Napa conventional motor oil. Just $1.99 a quart. Limit 24. Get a free Napa Racing and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund cap with any $25 purchase while supplies last. Napa will donate $1 to Intrepid for every cap given away. Save big on a 40-ounce trigger spray bottle of Purple Power Industrial Strength Cleaner Degreaser. Just $1.99. Plus, whether you're on summer vacation or just backing out of the driveway, see more and drive safer with a wireless backup camera system. A whopping $70 off at just $79. The easy-to-install kit includes camera, color monitor, transmitter, and wiring. And boom, it's going to qualify me for a free Napa Racing and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fun cap. Get your Napa Weekend Warrior Specials at this participating Napa Auto Parts store.
Napa Auto Parts in Belfair and Shelton.
I feel right at home on JohnLScott.com.
Hi, this is Dawn Pinnell from John L. Scott Real Estate here in Shelton. For a while now, I have been saying welcome home and sharing with you some great listings and some hopefully educational and interesting items of riveting radio real estate topics. We're moving our time slot to Friday at 8:55, right at the end of the morning show with Jeff and Dale. I hope you will continue to listen and that you will contact me with any of your real estate needs. I would love to help you say, I'm home.
The City of Lacey Parks and Recreation presents Lacey in Tune, summer concerts in the park. Enjoy local bands as well as regional acts. Tuesday evenings offer children's entertainers. Wednesdays at noon and Saturdays at 7, enjoy a great mix of high-energy music at Huntermer Park in Woodland Square. For more information,
We're the Crime Family Band. We're the Selleck Sisters. And you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale at KMAS.
Those are good kids right there.
That's all right.
6:24 the time. Thursday's your day. And
Sure,
it's the 9th day of July. Coming up, we have Representative Drew McEwen, also Lacey Day's grand finale. Extraordinaire festival going on. Barbecue contest.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the best ribs? Huh? What? Okay. So all that's going to be happening this Saturday. Big concert. And we have representatives from Lacey's City of Lacey, Parks and Rec Department, and also from the Lacey Chamber of Commerce coming in studio with us here in about an hour to talk it up one more time with us about the big events planned this weekend. It's
also
going to be a big Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it is going to be a huge Saturday. Spike and the Impalers are playing.
Oh, man.
Some other things that are happening throughout the day today. We'll get a chance to meet Marilyn Vogler in our candidate interviews as we move on to the Shelton mayoral race. So today, Marilyn will be on the air with us just after the 7 o'clock news. Tomorrow, Gary, just after the 7 o'clock news as well. Current Mayor Gary Krantz, yeah. He is the current mayor, and we've got all the candidate interviews on KMAS.com under the 2015 Voters Guide.
Yeah.
And that's just under the news tab. So that's happening this morning.
Indeed. Your video Voters Guide is available to you online right now. Just head on over to KMAS.com. Tomorrow, Jeff, this Friday, that's so elusive.
Well, hold on now. Hold on. We still have one more special guest in.
Oh.
Focus on Shelton today.
Oh.
Chief Moody. Chief Darren Moody's going to bring in Shelton Police Officer of the Year, Detective Calvin Moran.
Oh, nice. Good job. All right. That'll be exciting. We'll talk to them to wrap up the show today. Our focus on Shelton.
All right. So tomorrow, what were you saying?
Tomorrow is our drawing for a pair of tickets to Jamie Moyer Bobblehead Night, August the 8th.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting. And so those of you who have qualified, we'll give you one more shot at it this morning to win not only some tickets to Shelton Cinemas or the Skyline Drive-In, but you'll qualify for tomorrow's drawing and get that pair of tickets in your grubby little hands.
626 here at KMAS and KMAS.com. Thursday, 83 is the forecasted high today. It was about that yesterday at Sanderson Field, although we start the morning off very mild. It's 57 now, feels very cool. Lots of clouds out there.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. As we move into the weekend, it's going to be in the 70s. So shorts have gone to the wayside this weekend.
Bundle up, kids.
You're really going to need to.
Down into the 70s. Oh, my word. The clouds, I didn't know if it was going to be just if it was clouds or part of that smoky haze thing that we've been kind of.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? You're right.
And so I think
I noticed that yesterday,
little combination of the two. It wasn't bright, clear blue sky, obviously. It was hazy. And a lot of that is coming from some fires up north of us. Vancouver Island's got a blaze going, and then there's another one. Of course, the One Paradise fire has now grown. And it's in one of those locations where it's not threatening any buildings. And so they're kind of monitoring rather than doing a full blown out trying to stop the fire, just letting it try to work itself to a spot where it will. But maybe a couple of weeks now before it'll go out. So they're just watching it, they're tracking it, and keeping us apprised of which direction the winds blow over there for that. So, but there is smoke in the air.
I did notice that yesterday. It seemed very hazy.
Yeah.
All throughout the day.
It made for a brilliant sunrise yesterday. Jerry said the sun came out orange red.
Ooh.
It was beautiful.
Almost on fire itself.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, quickly before we get to the news, wrapping up their Zip Code tour, July 15 in Quebec. But we won't have to wait that long to get more from the band. Keith Richards has a new solo album, first since 1992. It's called Cross-Eyed Heart, coming out this September.
Cross-Eyed Heart.
15-track album encompasses reggae, rock, country, and the blues.
Wow. So how about that?
Keith Richards out with a new album, September 18th.
Transfusion, should have been the name of his.
It should have been. Yeah, it should have been.
All right, very good. We're going to take a little closer peek at the Mariners' woes as they approach the All-Star break, and woes they have.
Many.
Yeah, Lloyd McLennan will be back in the dugout tonight after the first part of the week with family, as his youngest sister passed from complications to diabetes. She was in her 40s. So bit of a tragedy that he's had to deal with. And then he comes back to the tragedy that is the 2015 season. Somewhere. Try to put our finger on a little bit of that. Coming up after the news with Mary Lynn Foster.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMAS NewsRadio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The body of a 79-year-old man was found after two buildings were destroyed by fire in Olympia yesterday morning. Fire officials were called to 78th Avenue Southeast at 2:46 a.m., arriving to find fire in the two buildings and the property between them. According to the Thurston County Sheriff's Office, a man and a woman living on the property started a fire in a burn pile behind the victim's home. The fire got out of control and spread to the victim's home, who was inside at the time. The woman suffered minor burns trying to unsuccessfully rescue the 79-year-old from the home. TCSO said that after initial investigation, it was in the backyard of the home. According to witness reports, there was an explosion which quickly spread to the home. McPherson was later arrested on an outstanding felony warrant and booked into the Thurston County Jail. Aaron Myers was reported to have run from the scene prior to the arrival of the fire department and deputies. The Ridge Motorsports Park has announced the formal name of the scale kart track that has been under development since this spring. The name is the Olympic Grand Prix Kart Track at the Ridge Motorsports Park. General Manager Fred Wright says the name pays tribute to and identifies with the breathtaking beauty of our nearby Olympic National Forest. The U.S. Army says it's moving its Western Medical Headquarters from Washington State to Hawaii. The Western Regional Medical Command, which is in charge of Army hospitals in 20 Western states, is at Joint Base Lewis McCoy, led by a major general. Army officials say civilian employees will be given opportunities to move to Hawaii. Don't miss our primary election candidates forum Thursday night, July 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. You're invited to attend in person at Mason County Public Works Facility or listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 104.1, and FM 92.9, plus live video and audio on KMAS.com. Be part of the process. Send us your questions for the candidates to KMASnews@KMAS.com or bring your questions with you to the broadcast. There are 20 candidates running for local offices, the mayor of Shelton, plus the commissioner of finance and accounting, in addition to the Port of Shelton, with one commissioner race and 10 candidates running for 4 positions on the Shelton School District Board. KMAS wants to thank the Government Affairs Committee of the Shelton Chamber for their participation in this year's forum. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Hi, Tracy Leckenby here. For 60 years, the family at Cut Rate Auto Parts has been doing business with the families of the Puget Sound. We were saddened to learn of the closing of the Simpson Timber Mill in Shelton. Cut Rate Auto Parts of Shelton will take 10% off at our Shelton store for Simpson Mill employees until they are back to work or the mill reopens. Come see us for full details at Cut Rate Auto Parts of Shelton. Cut Rate Auto Parts, we've got your part, we've got your back. Thank you.
Cut Rate Auto Parts, we got your part.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Like us on Facebook and get our local news right on your news feed. Facebook.com/1030KMAS. For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County. And we are streaming online audio and video, KMAS.com. That's it. Wave to the folks, Jeff.
I did.
All right, the Seattle Mariners are 9 games back in the American League West. 7 games behind in the wild card chase. Kind of a little early to be talking about that. They just dropped 2 of 3 to the Detroit Tigers and are facing the red-hot Los Angeles Angels, who are coming to town for 4 games. This is a big series for Seattle, really. Big part of the season could hinge on some momentum heading into the All-Star break. And they can gather that momentum with a win. Now, 5-4 was the final last night, and again, the recurring theme of runners in scoring position. 0 for 14 in last night's game. Now, they did score 4 runs, but most of that was long ball stuff. And again, when you have runners on second and or third, you need to bring those guys home once in a while. You need to do, you got to have some kind of 200 batting average or a 250 batting average. But when you're 0 for, which how many times have we said 0 for, or 1 for 13 or 2 for 18 or just abysmal results in those situations? Here's some optimistic points that the team you can kind of hang your hat on, I guess. Robinson Cano is batting better than he has all season long, and is now up to a 252 batting average, and has hit for some power here lately. Also, Mark Trumbo over the last 2 games was 5 for 9, and I didn't think he was going to even get a hit the rest of the season, so he's warming up a little bit. So those are 2 positive things, and you got Felix going tonight in Game 1. That could set the tone for the rest of the series. They got that young Mike Montgomery, Monty. He's going to be pitching as well, and Taijuan Walker. They're all pitching pretty well, and they'll all be pitching in this series, as will Hisashi Iwakuma. And you got to think that he could turn things around any moment because he's just getting back from injured reserve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's reasons for to be nervous. Angels are playing really well. They've won 9 of their last 10, and they've caught the Astros. They're only a game and a half behind them in the American League West. They've won 5 straight. Okay. Mariners are 3-6 against the Angels this year. And there you go. It's going to be a tough series for Seattle. But go M's. A big 4-game push, and then it's the All-Star break.
Here's one thing that could knock the Angels off kilter tonight.
All right. It is dog night.
Bark at the park.
Oh, bark at the park.
Not to be outdone tomorrow's guys' night.
Almost the same thing.
Same mentality.
Better behaved spectators tonight.
Probably today.
Than tomorrow night.
But the Angels could be out there getting ready to play, and then all these dogs show up.
Yeah.
It could get them off kilter. Exactly what the Mariners need to see.
Man, if we were smart, we'd parade all those dogs right along the front of the dugout for the Angels before the game. Let them lift their leg.
Lift their leg up. Welcome to Seattle.
Yeah, welcome to Seattle. It's a little Seattle rain for you. All right, there's sports. Jeff's got the weather forecast. It's going to be cold this weekend.
70. What?
Break out the parka.
57 currently, cloudy skies with some haze out there, not associated with the clouds. 83 should be our high today. 75 tomorrow. 70 on Saturday. 75 on Sunday. And then we're going to be in the upper 70s, low 80s into next week, where we may even see a fair amount of rain next Saturday.
Really?
That's like 10 days away.
Yeah, it's a long ways away.
But still interesting to note. 57 right now at Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the southernmost tide pool of Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. 640 here at KMAS. KMAS.com.
Master Gardener's having a big garden tour this coming Saturday. You can tour homes at your leisure on Highway 3, and I can't remember how many did she say? 6?
6 of them. Yeah,
6 gardens.
Because it's $12, so $2 a garden.
Right. Yeah, something like that. Or maybe it's $10 and it's 5 gardens. Well, we'll find out, because Lou Schmidt's going to be talking with us here in just a few moments, and she's got all the info for us, all the details on the upcoming garden tour that's happening this Saturday, an annual event. Actually, as it turns out, another annual event is Lacey Day's Big Barbecue and concert to put the wraps on their Lacey Days 2-week celebration, and we'll be having some folks in studio with us here in the 7 o'clock hour to talk about all of that.
641 at KMAS. Just some other stuff going on around. Not much going around the Northwest, although there could be tomorrow could be the last day of the special session.
Yeah,
they come to, and here's what I don't understand, Dale. We talked about it off air, but I'll ask you right now, so you listening can think about this too. We voted a voter initiative, class sizes. Now, whatever, you're for it, you're against it. The bill was poorly written to have all the schools, all of the sudden have these classroom size restrictions. Whatever, that's not the point. the point is we voted for it, right?
Right.
It wasn't an overwhelming majority, but it was 50 plus 1 or whatever it takes. And so the reason why the legislature appears like it could end tomorrow is because they've reached a deal on not initiating this for 4 years.
Yeah, they're going to suspend the initiative for 4 years.
So what's going on there? I mean...
Well, and we heard talk in the past week of stair-stepping it, integrating it in start with the first kindergarten through second grade, kindergarten through third grade, then at the middle school, and then work your way up. So it'd be K through 12, smaller classrooms for everybody, but you can't afford to do it all at once because you got to have more classrooms, more teachers.
Sense. And we agree with that.
We think that makes a little bit of sense. But to suspend the whole initiative for 4 years, when in fact popular vote said, "Let's do this," and now we all have to wait 4 years for it to start, doesn't really jibe with.
It doesn't,
folks. I don't. think...
if we had an initiative that said, "Hey, legislators, guess what? We're going to give you guys a raise every year.
But we're going to suspend that for 4 years before we get started."
Yeah, right. There's no way they would suspend that one.
Oh,
I just don't get it. And and I do understand, like you were saying, it is fiscally improbable to jump into this feet first. The stair-step approach, year one, the first couple grades.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think anybody is denying the fact that a smaller class sizes will help all students.
Right.
But it is hard to square up where you're going to get the construction costs and everything for all this stuff. But just to say, well, voters, we heard you, but we don't think you know what you're talking about because we can't get along. We've got to do something, and we're going to just suspend this for 4 years.
Yeah, they'll probably, I don't know. Well, I can't speculate. I have no idea. Drew McEwen is scheduled to be in with us. We'll get his take on it. But I think they'll do that to close the session. I bet it comes back. It raises its ugly head again next year.
I think the whole point of the voters doing this initiative was just another kind of prod to the legislators to say, get your act together on this school funding.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court says you guys are not doing your job. And so maybe what we have to do is push you a little bit, and we're doing that via this initiative.
Right. And then that fell on deaf ears, apparently.
The other agreement, I guess, was to suspend the biology test for graduation requirements.
Yeah, it was a bizarre deal. Very bizarre.
So that's what it came down to.
A record-breaking session because biology tests. Well, see, you never thought biology was going to come into play in your lifetime.
That's true. You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Environmentally Sound is brought to you by Taylor Shellfish Farms, Mason County Garbage, and Green Diamond Resource Company. Environmentally Sound is also available on demand on the environmental page of MasonCountyDailyNews.com.
We are pleased to have in studio with us from the WSU Extension Office in the Master Gardeners Program, Lou Schmidt. Hi, Lou.
Morning.
How are you?
Just fine, thank you.
Well, it's nice to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a big event coming up this Saturday for you guys.
That's right. We have our garden tour coming, and we have 6 gardens in the Highway 3 area. They're all within 7.5 miles of each other.
Okay.
They'll be well signed. You can buy tickets in advance, and there will also be some tickets available at the garden if you twisted somebody else's arm to come with you.
Yes.
And we're hoping for not too hot a day. It was very hot for the tour last year. We're hoping it's not quite that hot this year.
All right, so this is an annual event. And are you typically usually out around Highway 3? Seems to me a couple of years ago we were talking to some people that were participating in it, and they were out along that area in Great View in that area.
There's sort of been 2 sets of garden tours. Quite a few years ago, they had, I'm going to say maybe for 5 or 6 years they had them. And then they kind of fell apart. It's a lot of work to put on for the gardeners and for the master gardeners to get it organized and everything. Asked about getting it going again, and she twisted my arm, and we've been co-chairing the garden tour for the past 3. This is the 3rd one that we've done together.
All right.
And the first 2 years ago, it was out along Lynch Road and
Yes.
Arcadia
Yeah.
out that way. Last year it was downtown Shelton, which
Oh.
was really fun because the gardens were all fairly close together, and the comments were, we didn't know there were such beautiful gardens
Isn't
in
that
Shelton.
something?
It was really, really nice.
And these are private homes,
Private homes,
who have got the gardening bug, and they really take their backyards and oftentimes front yards to the next level and make it very nice in there.
Yes, they do.
Many acres, and there's walking paths and all sorts of things.
I know. Yeah, it's fun. And this year's going to be good too.
So you do have 6 gardens for people to see.
We do. Yes.
And it's up along the Highway 3 corridor. Now, is it beyond the...
It's the closest one to Shelton is on the Mason Lake Road. There's 2 on that Mason Lake Road, and the furthest one away is on Stretch Island.
Okay. All right.
So it's not too far.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Great way to spend a Saturday. What are the hours?
The gardens are open from 10 till 4.
All right.
So we have 2 shifts of master gardeners helping out at the gardens, answering questions and showing people around. And we have 2 shifts so that if you're on the morning shift, you can go to see the rest of the gardens in the afternoon and the other way around.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun.
big effort for everybody. Now, you said tickets are available, and I heard you mention to Carol, one location is Tozier's. What was the other location?
Tozier's, Lynch Creek Floral, Lori's Gifts in Hoodsport, and Hunter Farms in Spencer Lake Road.
Okay, right.
So that's kind of handy for people coming from another direction.
You bet. And so $12, $2 per garden.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
That's the deal.
So let's say if you wanted to stay closer, you don't have to go to all of them.
No, if you get really stuck at one because you love it, you can stay there all day. We don't care. They don't care.
What are some of the things that you've seen in past years that just make you go, wow?
The one that sticks out in my mind is Enid Roberts' garden in Dawnview. She has an English-style garden with greenhouses to die for, and she's just got the color and the shapes and the absolutely everything just down perfectly. Of course, she has a gardener that helps, but it was spectacular. But some of the smaller gardens are equally popular.
Right.
They're just, you can do it on a 60-foot lot. There were 2 in town last year, right side by side, on Harvard, is it up there?
There's a Harvard Street,
up there on the hill.
Yeah.
And they were both spectacular, little tiny pocket gardens, but just superbly done, and right side by side made it very convenient.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So people can get out there, and it also helps out the master gardeners.
Right.
And the WSU extension.
It's not one of our biggest fundraisers. The plant sale obviously is the biggest fundraiser, but we do break even. The reason we don't do too well is because we have a big party after the garden tour.
As well you should.
And all the master gardeners that we're helping, and then all the garden owners are invited. And so we're sort of expecting 60 people for dinner.
Oh, wild and crazy, those master gardeners and those garden folks.
Stories.
Oh,
that'd be
man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's great fun sharing ideas.
It really is.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be a fun. How dry it is, but people appropriate their water for their gardens.
Right. I think watering their gardens this year in particular has been a priority. I know. Sure. I feel like I'm walking around with a hose attached to my wrist. It's just.
Yeah. They really got to keep them hydrated, and that's really a challenge when it's
so hot.
So hot.
Because most of the plants here aren't used to this 90 plus.
Like us, we're not used.
No, we're not either. People either.
Oh, that is exciting. Good. So 10 to 4. And you get a map when you buy your tickets?
Yeah,
is that what happens?
There's a nice little ticket booklet that has a map in the center part.
Okay.
And there's a little disclaimer at the bottom says, this map is nowhere near to scale. It's just hand-drawn, but it's got the directions to the thing. And then there's also written directions to it. And then there's also big pink signs with black arrows on it.
All right.
It'll be posted at key intersections.
Those are GPS coordinates, those pink signs with those.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, they know where they're going.
I don't think they have the long on them.
That's awesome. That's exciting, Lou. Well, best of luck to you guys on this deal coming up. Is there anything else you need to share with us?
Well, if I've got time, I could give you a few tips about what you'll see at some of the gardens.
Yes.
There's one great big one. I'm not telling names and addresses because you'll get that in the ticket booklet. There's a couple with a lot of native plants. There's a lot of whimsical things this year, little fairy garden things and mermaids in ponds and that sort of stuff.
Wow.
In fact, the president of the Master Gardeners, his house is on the tour this year, and he has extremely interesting steep hillside, and it's all terraced and vegetable gardened, and he also has bees and chickens, which is quite popular these days.
Yes.
So that's kind of different. And then the one in Stretch Island used to be a vineyard, and there's the old building where they did the grape pressing and whatever. No, I think maybe they made juice. I think it was juice. But they have a very nice, interesting vegetable garden and some nice perennials, and it's just kind of fun to go across the little bridge to the island and find your way to their house. It's quite tricky.
But it's a small island, so you can't get too lost.
Well, they're big sites.
Yeah, very good. Well, a lot of fun this coming Saturday from 10 to 4. Tickets available again at Tozier's,
Lynch Creek, Hunter Farms,
Lori's, and Hunter Farms,
and Fresh Start Deli. And they're also available at the gardens, like I said, if you bring your aunt or your cousin or your next door neighbor.
You can get tickets there at the entryway, and there's the Master Gardeners there to help out and to guide you through the gardens and tell you what you're looking at and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wonderful way to spend an hour or two on a Saturday, and it should be a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All right, and we will, I'm sure, be talking to you soon down the road about something.
Always got something up our sleeve.
You Master Gardeners are always up to something, that's for sure. Lou Schmidt, thank you so much.
It's time for the 5th Annual South Sound Barbecue Festival, Saturday, July 11th in Hunterman Park in Lacey. If you've got a favorite barbecue recipe, rub, or cooking method, you can enter in one or all 5 categories. Get all the information at southsoundbbqfestival.com. It's the 5th Annual South Sound Barbecue Festival at Hunterman Park in Lacey to benefit the Lacey South Sound Chamber. Call 491-4141 for more information, and thanks to the sponsors: Fred Meyer, Nisqually Red Wind Casino, Designs, Fast Signs, and Thurston Talk.
Alderbrook Properties present Golf Balls from Heaven. It's all part of the 5th Annual Love Inc. Golf Tournament Ball Drop and Auction, Monday, July 20th at Alderbrook Golf Course. For a $10 donation, you'll have a golf ball dropped on the 18th hole from a helicopter donated by Olympic Air. 10 cash prizes will be awarded for the balls closest to the pin. A hole-in-one will pay out $2,000. Proceeds go to Benefit Love Inc., mobilizing local churches to assist people in need. Last year, over 20 area churches helped out over 2,000 people. Call Love Inc. today. They'll arrange to pick up your donation. 360-462-LOVE. 462-5683. Donations are tax deductible. Call for a ball today. 462-LOVE. And come on out for the big drop on Monday, July 20th. Golf balls from heaven.
Hi, this is Dick Taylor from the Port of Shelton, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS Radio.
Just business, babe.
Oh, yeah, 6:54 on your Thursday morning. And this particular Thursday morning is the beginning of some construction on Highway 101. You've heard this term before, slope stabilization project.
Okay.
Now, this isn't the same one that was on Purdy Canyon that we went through a couple of years ago. And this is a different one from a washout that began in December of 2014 from some heavy rain. Those were the days, which saturated a slope right below the highway and caused sections of the hillside to slide and damaged about 70 feet of the northbound lanes of Highway 101. This is way up in North Mason County on 101 along the canal. And beginning today will be construction on a 220-foot long retaining wall below the highway to protect it from future slides, as well as, of course, repair the damaged sections of the roadway. So Mason County drivers heading north can expect 15-minute delays traveling through the area. They'll have some temporary traffic signals. You kind of all know the drill by now. And you can expect some 15-minute delays when traveling through the area. They'll try to keep the traffic moving through the work zone. They were really, really efficient about that. They'd route the traffic out to the far lane so they could continue to do their work unabated. And it's a $1.57 million slope stabilization project. It's supposed to be completed this fall. So starting today, plan on an extra 15 minutes or so if you're heading toward Jefferson County.
Okay.
And then you got to return. You'll have to plan on some delays as well. So there's that crew and their work beginning this morning.
There's a lot of folks that thought, I don't know if they thought it was a joke or whatever, but they weren't maybe 100% sure of what this slope stabilization thing does when they were working on the Purdy one.
Right.
You drove by there every day.
Yeah, I drive by. I took a good look at it yesterday.
How's
today,
it? I mean, what's
morning.
it looking? What's it looking like?
Well, you got a lot of little scraggly trees on the hillside now. So it'll be 2 years this fall, I guess, that they planted that. And so some grow better than others. And because of the drought conditions, everything is just dry. So it's a big dry wall with some green in it, but the green is fading. And there are little scraggly little bushes on there. And the root system probably is lending to the stabilization of the slope. It's working fine. It's great. It looks good. It's better than what it was before. We wished it would have went a little bit farther down toward the valley, toward the river.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's another section there that could have probably done a little stabilization
put
too.
it on the list.
So there. Wait for the Old Farmer's Almanac news, all coming up next on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. And a good Thursday to you.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
What does it mean when storm clouds turn green? We look at the science behind the eerie effect on the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 21 days by calling 1-800-939-9762. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 21-day in-home trial. 1-800-939-9762. That's 1-800-939-9762.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report for Thursday, July 9th, the 190th day of the year. Tom Hanks has a birthday, and on this day in 1882, there were slippery sidewalks after a rare summer freeze in Cheyenne, Wyoming. One of the most ominous weather sights is a green sky before an approaching storm. What does it mean? Some weather lore says a green sky means a tornado or hail is brewing, though there is a little science to back that up. Here's one theory on what makes a green sky. Moisture particles in storm clouds absorb red light and scatter blue. Combine that with an environment rich in red light, like at sunset, along with a dark gray storm cloud, and the net effect is green. It doesn't always mean a more severe storm, but it can make it seem more eerier. That is the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report. Learn more about weather extremes online at almanac.com.
1030 KMAS Shelton can also be heard on K281BM Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. The stock markets and United Airlines are up and running smoothly so far after yesterday's crippling computer glitches, and the Dow has even recovered nearly all the ground it lost yesterday. However, not everyone believes computer glitches are to blame. ABC's Scott Goldberg has a closer look.
At the end of a computer glitch-shortened trading day at the New York Stock Exchange, the experts kind of summed it up the same way.
Obviously, it's a little bit unnerving. It's an embarrassment, yes.
Stocks were down, but it had more to do with events overseas. The computer router problems at United Airlines probably affected more Americans.
2 hours and 15 minutes in line.
About 1,000 delays, 60 cancellations. And the Wall Street Journal says a technical issue temporarily knocked its website offline. In my business, you don't love coincidences, said FBI Director James Comey. But that's That's what these appear to be. Scott Goldberg, ABC News, New York.
While you were sleeping, the South Carolina State House was up all night debating and ultimately approving the removal of the Confederate battle flag from the Capitol grounds. One House member said the Charleston church shooting suspect cloaked himself in its hate. ABC's Steve Osinsami in Columbia says the shooting was a factor.
What pushed this through, without question, was the murder of those parishioners at a Bible study. That was the driving force. It loomed large over these debates. The widow of the pastor, who is also a state senator, appeared at the State House, met with lawmakers. The governor was pushing that.
Jeb Bush is firing back at critics who say his comments that Americans should work longer hours prove he's out of touch. Bush says he meant more part-timers should be offered full-time work, calling it critical to economic growth. The truth is out there that fish oil pills offer no health benefits, but government scientists say people still want to believe previous studies suggesting they prevent heart disease. A National Institutes of Health study concludes it's tough for people to let go of hope. This is ABC News.
You're getting very sleepy. Sleepy. You're no longer afraid of bunnies. Bunnies. You'll join my rewards program. I'll join your... Wait, what? 50% off your 5th session. Focus on the value. Value.
How about a rewards program you'll actually use every day? Finally, there's Plenty. Earn points at one place and use them at another. Sign up today at plentywithani.com for access to offers worth over $100 in savings. There's Plenty together. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Jay Farner with some great news on how you could save an average of $3,000 per year on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. The HARP guidelines have changed. There's less paperwork and often no appraisal required. Call 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Calls for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed law 50 states. And MLS number 3030.
Computer chaos reigned in London as people scrambled to find other ways to get to work when subway workers staged a strike. ABC's Tom Rivers has details.
For the 4 million who normally hop on the subway here each and every day, getting from A to B today is not easy.
Horrible trying to get to work. It's awful. Completely late for work now. So
I've been trying to get the buses taking me just over there to get from Victoria to here.
Very crowded. And I tried to get on 2 buses, but I couldn't, so I'm walking now.
Many commuters are reverting to Plan B. Packing onto buses or taking taxis or walking to work in the bright sunshine, while others are just staying at home. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Shoppers who bring their own reusable bags to the grocery store may look environmentally responsible, but the secret contents of those bags may surprise you. People who do that are more likely to buy organic foods and treat themselves to junk food.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMASnewsradio.com, I'm Maryland Foster. The body of a 79-year-old man was found after 2 buildings were destroyed by fire in Olympia yesterday morning. Fire officials were called to 78th Avenue Southeast at 2:46 a.m., arriving to find fire in the 2 buildings and the property between them. According to the Thurston County Sheriff's Office, a man and a woman living on the property started a fire in a burn pile behind the victim's home. The fire got out of control and spread to the victim's home, who was inside at the time. The woman suffered minor burns trying to unsuccessfully rescue the 79-year-old from the home. TCSO said that after initial investigation, it was revealed that Nicole McPherson, age 32, and Aaron Myers, age 39, were outside burning debris in a homemade fire pit in the backyard of the home. According to witness reports, there was an explosion which quickly spread to the home. McPherson was later arrested on an outstanding felony warrant and booked into the Thurston County Jail. Aaron Myers was reported to have run from the scene prior to the arrival of the fire department and deputies. The Ridge Motorsports Park has announced the formal name of the scale kart track that has been under development since this spring. The name is the Olympic Grand Prix Kart Track at the Ridge Motorsports Park. General Manager Fred Wright says the name pays tribute to and identifies with the breathtaking beauty of our nearby Olympic National Forest. The U.S. Army says it's moving its Western Medical Headquarters from Washington State to Hawaii. The Western Regional Medical Command, which is in charge of Army hospitals in 20 Western states, is at Joint Base Lewis McChord. The command has about 165 employees, led by a major general. Army officials say civilian employees will be given opportunities to move to Hawaii. Don't miss our primary election candidates forum Thursday night, July 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. You're invited to attend in person at Mason County Public Works Facility or listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 104.1, and FM 92.9, plus live video and audio on KMAS.com. Be part of the process. Send us your questions for the candidates to KMASnews@KMAS.com or bring your questions with you to the broadcast. There are 20 candidates running for local offices, the mayor of Shelton, plus the commissioner of finance and accounting, in addition to the Port of Shelton, with 1 commissioner race and 10 candidates running for 4 positions on the Shelton School District Board. KMAS wants to thank the Government Affairs Committee of the Shelton Chamber for their participation in this year's forum. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch Daybreak live. Follow the link on KMAS.com or search KMAS Radio on YouTube.
Gillis Auto Center in Shelton. Best deals, best price, best trade, and low payments. Just go to Gillis. The low overhead pricing at Gillis makes it worth the drive. And right now our deals are hotter than July. Just go to Gillis. Open 24/7 at GillisAutoCenter.com for pricing, trade-in value, and pre-approval. You'll find a huge selection in every price range. And used car rates starting at 1.9% for 72 months. At the City Center Matlock X and GillisAutoCenter.com. Financing OAC.
Inside and outside the Park Homers on Wednesday night. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. In Kansas City, Royals' Jared Dyson took advantage of a misplayed ball and his speed to touch them all.
Lined up the left field line to Jesus in pursuit. He dives, and he missed it. Escobar scores. Dyson around third. Dyson with an inside the park home run.
On KCSB, and that was the second inside the park homer in that game. Rays' Logan Forsythe and an inside the parker that resulted in Alex Gordon injuring his groin. Royals beat the Rays 9-7. In Los Angeles, pitcher Clayton Kershaw had Phillies bats waving in air.
The 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball got him looking. Strike 3. Kershaw with a season-high 13 strikeouts.
Then Kershaw gets the complete game shutout, as heard on KLAC, and the Dodgers get the 5-0 win over Philadelphia. The Cardinals trail.
Gunner! Peralta gives the Cardinals the lead.
On KMOX, St. Louis stuns the Cubs 6-5. In Denver, Mike Trout took advantage of the thin air, smacking 2 homers. He has 24 on the season. The Angels snapped the tie.
A run will score. The Angels have the lead. Giavotella does it again.
On KLAA, the Angels win 3-2. On the south side of Chicago, Adam Eaton attempted a bunt on the first pitch, but the second.
The 1-0, a swing and a high fly to right. This hit well. Going back, Batista at the wall. He goes deep. He wins it on a home run. Light it up. Sox win 11.
On 670, the score, Sox topped the Jays 7-6 in 11 innings. To the NBA, 5 days ago, DeAndre Jordan all set to sign a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Mavericks. 5 days later, Jordan had guests over his house, among them Clippers head coach Doc Rivers and owner Steve Ballmer. They convinced him to stay in L.A., signing a 4-year max deal worth up to an estimated $88 million. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County, streaming online, audio, video. It's all there for you at KMAS.com. Jeffrey Marty.
Oh.
Not you. Different Jeffrey.
Sorry.
Unless you're the one that got the RBI double and then a home run later.
No. That's not me.
It's not you? Okay.
I don't have that range of motion.
He led the Detroit Tigers over the Seattle Mariners 5-4. Well, yesterday, getaway day for the Tigers. Good riddance. We will catch up with the Tigers again on the other side of the All-Star break. But the Mariners' woes continue with runners in scoring position. A big fat goose egg, 0 runners scored from being in scoring position in 14 tries yesterday. 14 opportunities to score, not one single run. A recurring theme for the Mariners this year. And if you're looking and pointing toward reasons why they're struggling, that has to be on the list. Seattle's Nelson Cruz, meanwhile, who has been hitting a lot of home runs for us, old Nelly. And he has now, from the StatCast computer system, Major League Baseball announced their first season leaderboards yesterday. And Nelson Cruz has hit the longest home run of the year. This was in April the 29th in Texas against Wandy Rodriguez, 483 feet. That is one long shot. So there is that. Speaking of long shots, what are the chances Seattle makes it to the playoffs? Well, there are 9
Tell me how you really feel.
9 games out of first place in the American League West, 7 games out of their remote chances of making a wild card today. 4 games left before the All-Star break, and they're at home hosting the second place Los Angeles Angels, who are on a 5-game winning streak, and oh, by the way, have won 9 of their last 10 and are looking like superstars. So we'll see what happens, because we're going to roll Felix out there tonight. It could go, who knows which direction it's going to go, but Seattle has a chance to make a statement, make up some ground, do a lot of positive things. Lloyd's back in the dugout tonight, and we'll begin our coverage at 6. First pitch at 7:10. Now, tomorrow night, Evelyn, it's going to be we're going to make Major League history tomorrow night. The Mariners are.
How?
Evelyn Jones from Woodinville is going to throw out the first pitch. Not tomorrow night, I'm sorry. It's Saturday, at the game Saturday night. And she is 108 years old.
What?
Yes. Evelyn is going to become the oldest person ever to deliver a ceremonial pitch in Major League history. 108, Evelyn Jones from Woodinville.
Wow.
Going to throw out the ceremonial first pitch on Saturday. That in itself is worth the price of admission.
I would say so.
That's pretty awesome. She will get a standing O for that one. And Matt Chazano is your new play-by-play announcer for the Washington State football team. He replaces Bud Namick on the football and men's basketball broadcast beginning this season.
Interesting.
There you go.
South Sound forecast. Good morning to you. Still kind of cloudy out there. Feels very pleasant. Was just outside checking on something. 57 out there now with some overcast skies. 83 is our expected high, which is just a few degrees cooler than yesterday. Tomorrow, 75. 70 on Saturday. Back to 75 on Sunday. 7:15 here at KMAS. We continue our candidate interviews here on the radio. You can go to KMAS.com and check out under the news tab the 2015 Voters Guide and get a chance to meet all of the candidates. We have finished up the Shelton City of Finance positions. You can still see those and listen to those on KMAS.com. We're moving now into the Shelton mayoral race. So Marilyn Vogler's up now, and current mayor Gary Krantz will be tomorrow. Also looking ahead, next week, we will talk with the Port of Shelton Position 1 candidates, Sue Patterson and Tom Walletner, current Port of Shelton commissioner. Then we'll move to the Port of Olympia for a couple of their races, and we get a chance to talk to a City of Olympia commissioner who's running, and also a person running for the mayoral position in Olympia. So that's kind of where we're at. You can see all of these now on KMAS.com, but now let's listen and get a chance to meet Marilyn Vogler, who is vying for the mayor position here in the city of Shelton.
On our continuing series of candidate interviews, we welcome running for mayor of the city of Shelton, a nonpartisan office for a 4-year term, Marilyn Vogler. Marilyn, good morning.
Thank you, and good morning to you.
Welcome to the studio. Our first question right out of the gate, what's your platform?
I think if I had to summarize it, it would be building activism for Shelton. Energy, generally it's centered around issues. It was, before I arrived, it was the biomass incinerator. Most recently, it's been the pool. There was tremendous activity that culminated in the ribbon cutting for the Shelton Creek Trail. It tends to be issue-centered, and at the same time, city boards, commissions, advisory groups have a really hard time getting volunteers. The Poverty Task Force Follow-Up Committee had a hard time even getting off the ground because they couldn't meet the minimum membership. Particularly with the mill closing, we need to support local merchants. And yet I have a lot of friends who talk about all the things they buy at Costco. It drives me crazy. I want to say, you know, be activists for Shelton, and that means supporting local merchants, volunteering on a day-to-day basis to continue the issue energy, but also that the city needs activism day-to-day. It needs everybody's participation.
Marilyn, why did you decide to run this year?
Well, I've been involved in a lot of activities since I moved here. I retired in 2010 and over the years have developed a lot of work skills from life and mentoring. So I got involved right away with a lot of volunteer things, Park Rec, the Library Board, Area Agency on Aging, and through that I'm on the State Council on Aging. The Senior Lobby, Housing Coalition, it's just grown. And so I begin to see some connections between all of these, mostly around the notion of what makes a livable community. There are a couple of projects coming up that I really think I can contribute to in a positive fashion. One of the things that I bring is the fact that I haven't lived here my whole life. I think I bring a fresh set of eyes. It's kind of like Barb Weeses said at a Housing Coalition meeting. It was an executive team, and we'd gone on and on. I'd asked questions and diverted the conversation, and as we left, I said, hey, you all, you know, if you really get tired of me, why, just tell me to be quiet. And Barb said to me, well, you know, Marilyn, the rest of us have been here for a very long time. And you ask questions about how we do things and why we do things that we wouldn't even think to ask. And so we've got two issues. We've got Fraterra, that's presented a visioning plan, and you know, this will be aired later, but as we speak, it's 2 days from now. I went on the walking tour, and they had some wonderful ideas. What I've heard since has been, well, you know, we don't have the money for that. And that's going to be hard because we just signed a contract to do things the way we had done them in the past. And we don't have the real estate to do that. We just don't do things that way. I want to be in a position to push commissioners, to push staff, organizations, to comb through that report and say, what can we do? Find out the smallest things you can that you can contribute to doing rather than not doing. The other thing are the comprehensive plans. City and county both have comprehensive plan revisions due. And again, I think a fresh set of eyes asking questions is important. I certainly don't have the answers. I have ideas that may be starting points for answers, and apparently I do have a talent for asking really good questions. So with that, I can be a full-time mayor, and I look forward to using the skills I have for the city that I have chosen to move to.
Marilyn, give us a reason why voters should pick you over your opponent.
That one's hard because I hope people will vote for me. I think I have a really good chance. Mostly, though, I hope that whoever people vote for, they vote for someone rather than against. And I think there's a big difference. I think people should vote for me because I do bring an excitement of somebody who's relatively covering just the wonderful things about the area that I love to share. As I said, I'm retired. I can be a full-time mayor. I've been, really active across a broad spectrum at city, county, state levels. I have testified before the Senate Government Ops Committee here in Olympia or over in Olympia about the tiny homes bill. It didn't make it through. I work well across party lines. I'm mostly, I guess, a Democrat. Some of the Democrats don't think so sometimes. Had a really good conversation with Dan Griffey over in his office. He took almost an hour talking about the tiny homes bill with me. Work well with the county commission. I've been involved working with transit. I've spoken out at public health, so I have broad interests, broad connections, and a tremendous amount of excitement for this place.
Finally, Marilyn, what would you consider the most pressing or important issue facing the voters this upcoming election?
I guess I think, it has to be jobs. Part of it is the recent mill closing, but this isn't new in Shelton. I think it's a tremendously complex issue. So I want to talk about it in two pieces. There's a long-term need to look at jobs. But I think there has to be a really hard discussion about who we are as a community. I've heard some groups, some people say, well, we have a workforce that fits a manufacturing job base. That's who we need to bring in. And other people will shake their heads and say, but manufacturing is minimum wage. That won't support a living wage. People can't afford to live on a minimum wage job, so we can't do that. I've heard another person say, well, we need to bring in somebody who will hire at a living wage job. We need to spend we need to spend time training our workforce. And I've seen people shake their heads and say that won't work here. Tourism is brought up. We have a beautiful part of the country to bring people to. I have lived where tourism drove the economy. It changes who a community is. For one thing, the income is seasonal. It means shop owners have to be open evenings 7 days a week. They have to be here when the tourists are here. It means you have to pay really close attention to how you look, how the entrances of the city look. You have to be on show 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's an option. But I think it's something people have to understand before they say tourism is the answer. Some people have said, well, we've got a lot of retirees come in. We need to appeal to the senior community. And yet I have a couple of friends who are reaching retirement age who have moved to Olympia. They move there for transportation, for senior housing. There's a tremendous investment necessary to bring seniors. Was a resource fair following the closure of the mill, the announcement. There was a job fair that apparently drew a huge crowd. Lynn Longan has said that they intend to have another in the fall. I would like to be in a position to encourage people to make that an annual event, to include our high school students as specific invitees. I think the other really encouraging thing for short term is Mason Transit. They have had for a long time commuter runs to Olympia that were standing room only. They added new runs in April. They've got runs to Bremerton as well as Olympia. Those, I gather, are almost at capacity again. They've just gotten a state grant. They'll be buying 3 new buses next year, mid-October. They'll be adding express lines to the Bremerton Ferry Terminal. It will be doing a horseshoe loop from Bremerton through Shelton over to Olympia, which means that people can live in Shelton, which is a wonderful place to live, and get easily and cheaply to areas where there are jobs. And I think that's the immediate short-term answer.
Running for the city of Shelton mayor position, a nonpartisan office. It's a 4-year term. The challenger, Marilyn Vogler. Marilyn, thank you so much for your time.
And thank you for yours.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from the artesian waters of South Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, just a couple minutes here. Good morning to you, 7:27. Before we get to Mary Lynn Foster and the latest in local news, we'll check sports and weather as well. Currently 57 and cloudy. And then also after the news this morning, Dale.
Dan and Shelley Nicholson will be in studio with us. They're out in front right now getting ready, and they are the co-chairs of the Barbecue Festival in Lacey this weekend. Big doings.
Man, that does sound like fun.
I'm a little bit disappointed. They didn't have any brisket or anything.
Barbecue for us?
No barbecue for breakfast this morning. So
well, that's okay.
They didn't get the memo.
That's okay, I suppose.
Right, so we're watching our spelt figures, as it turns out anyway, our radio bodies.
Yeah.
All right, very good. But the South Sound Barbecue Festival is coming up this weekend, and they're going to fill us in on all the details on why it's a can't miss event. All right, so we're excited about that.
Also, coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll talk with 35th District Representative Drew McEwen, see what's going on as there's been some movement in the legislature. Also, Chief Darren Moody for the city of Shelton will bring in the Police Officer of the Year, Detective Calvin Moran, and we'll talk with him and both of them to figure out what's going on there and what the detective did to earn the recognition. So that's kind of a fun way to wrap up this Thursday. Tomorrow, more candidate interviews as we'll talk with the current mayor of Shelton, Gary Krantz. In the 8 o'clock hour, Lance Lambert from the Vintage Vehicle Show will be on the phone with us just after the 8 o'clock news.
Yep.
We check our fishing and skiing reports as well. And also tomorrow, just before we wrap up on a Friday, Don Pinnell with Radio Real Estate. So
indeed. And we want to thank Marilyn Vogler for her participation in our candidate interviews. The standing mayor, Gary Krantz. Well, I'm not sure he's standing this morning, but you know what I'm saying.
Probably sitting enjoying a cup of Joe right now.
It'll be his turn tomorrow at this time for his statement on the candidacy and the upcoming election. So we've got that working for us. The Mariners lose to Detroit yesterday afternoon. Beautiful day for a ball game and a pretty exciting game as the Mariners made it very interesting in the 9th inning, but came up a little short. 5-4 the final. We'll give you some of the juicy details and more after Mary Lynn Foster. It's 7:30, so good morning from Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMASNewsRadio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The body of a 79-year-old man was found after 2 buildings were destroyed by fire in Olympia yesterday morning. Fire officials were called to 78th Avenue Southeast at 2:46 a.m., arriving to find fire in the 2 buildings and the property between them. According to the Thurston County Sheriff's Office, A man and a woman living on the property started a fire in a burn pile behind the victim's home. The fire got out of control and spread to the victim's home, who was inside at the time. The woman suffered minor burns trying to unsuccessfully rescue the 79-year-old from the home. TCSO said that after initial investigation, it was revealed that Nicole McPherson, age 32, and Aaron Myers, age 39, were outside burning debris in a homemade fire pit in the backyard of the home. According to witness reports, there was an explosion which quickly spread to the home. McPherson was later arrested on an outstanding felony warrant and booked into the Thurston County Jail. Aaron Myers was reported to have run from the scene prior to the arrival of the fire department and deputies. The Ridge Motorsports Park has announced the formal name of the scale kart track that has been under development since this spring. The name is the Olympic Grand Prix Kart Track at the Ridge Motorsports Park. General Manager Fred Wright says the name pays tribute to and identifies with the breathtaking beauty of our nearby Olympic National Forest. The U.S. Army says it's moving its Western Medical Headquarters from Washington State to Hawaii. The Western Regional Medical Command, which is in charge of Army hospitals in 20 Western states, is at Joint Base Lewis McChord. The command has about 165 employees, led by a major general. Army officials say civilian employees will be given opportunities to move to Hawaii. Don't miss our primary election candidates forum Thursday night, July 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. You're invited to attend in person at Mason County Public Works Facility or listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 104.1, and FM 92.9, plus live video and audio on KMAS.com. Be part of the process. Send us your questions for the candidates to KMASnews@KMAS.com or bring your questions with you to the broadcast. There are 20 candidates running for local offices, the mayor of Shelton, plus the commissioner of finance and accounting, in addition to the Port of Shelton, with one commissioner race and 10 candidates running for 4 positions on the Shelton School District Board. KMAS wants to thank the Government Affairs Committee of the Shelton Chamber for their participation in this year's forum. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.
Accident and the insurance company is not treating you fairly, then call me, Attorney Harold Carr. Don't be a victim of a negligent driver and then be victimized by the insurance company. My law firm has 6 locations and has handled more than 10,500 personal injury cases. We have 7 attorneys and 23 staff members dedicated to protecting your legal rights.
Car accident? Call Carr. HaroldCarRattorney.com. HaroldCarRattorney.com.
Stay, play, explore, and dine right in your own backyard this summer during Lacey Days. Enjoy a staycation from June 27th through July 12th. These are the best 2 weeks of summer in Lacey. From the America's Classic Jazz Festival June 27 and 28 through the South Sound Barbecue Festival on July 11, the Lacey Days calendar is packed with concerts, fireworks, sports events, dining discounts, and more. Lots of free activities for families, too. Visit LaceyDays.org for all the details.
News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, FM 92.9 in Thurston County, and streaming online at a RBI double and his first major league home run. So both his first hit and his first home run in the majors. He's a youngster. He's a rookie. He just got called up this week. He plays for Detroit, unfortunately, and not for Seattle. And he helped the Tigers over the Mariners 5-4 in the getaway game. The 3-game series goes to Detroit 2-1. And the big story here, Jay Happ failed to make it out of the fourth inning. He pitched nearly 100 pitches in 4 innings. So tough go for Jay Happ, who slips to 4-6 on the season. And the Mariners were 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position yesterday. A recurring theme that has been the bugaboo of a very disappointing first half 4 games against the surging Los Angeles Angels begins tonight, and then it's the All-Star break. Felix on the hill for Seattle, and he is looking for win number 11 on the season, certainly one of the bright spots on the team, but he's had a couple of stumbles and bumbles as well. We'll see how things play out tonight. We begin our pregame at 6, first pitch at 10 past 7, 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Yikes, you can't do that and expect to win many games. Also, Nelson Cruz, who has been the home run leader not only for Seattle, but for the American League for much of the season. He's in the race anyway, we'll put it that way. And he does lay claim to having hit the longest home run in the majors this year, a 483-foot shot against Texas on April the 29th. Now, the distance is calculated as the projected landing point at ground level. And so that's a long shot from the bat to where they figure it would have landed on the ground, 483 feet away. And a football note for you this morning from Cougarville. Matt Chazanow has been hired as the play-by-play announcer for Washington State football, men's basketball, and baseball. The move announced yesterday by Cougar IMG Sports Marketing. Chazanow replaces Bud Namick on the football and men's basketball broadcasts. For football, Chazanow will team with veteran broadcaster Bob Robertson, of course, along with Jason Gesser, former quarterback for the Cougs, and Jessamine McIntyre. Namick spent the past 13 years as a member of the football broadcast team and also served as the voice of Cougars men's basketball since the 93-94 season. So a tough breakup there for Bud. Nice guy. And we'll miss him on the broadcast, that's for sure.
Yeah. All
right, that's sports notes for you. And here's Jeff with the weather forecast.
Well, the South Sound forecast, good. I mean, if that's all I had to do, I wouldn't even have gotten out of bed this morning.
Man.
Dry, yeah. But there is a change a week from tomorrow. Currently, though, 57 and cloudy. We're looking at about 83 today. 75 tomorrow, 70 on Saturday, back to 75 on Sunday. Into next week, we'll see upper 70s, low 80s, and maybe by next Saturday, the 18th, some rain. Over a quarter inch is what is talked about now, but it's a long way from right now. As you mentioned, 57 currently, and a good morning to ya.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from where I-5 takes a sharp left toward Portland, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
740 here at KMA. He was taking a lot of pictures of people holding the barbecue sign for sure out at the Freedom Concert and Fireworks Spectacular last Friday. That was a lot of fun for the city of Lacey. Coming up this Saturday at Huntermore Park in Lacey is the Barbecue Festival. And Dale, we've got special guests in studio.
Dan and Shelley Nicholson, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for coming in this morning and making the drive in. You guys talk about your company first of all. You have a branding company. What's that about?
Oh yeah, we have a branding company. We do marketing and promotions. It's designsallday.com. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it 9 years, and we work with lots of local businesses and businesses all over the place. So.
All over the place.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, that's exciting, and obviously you guys are most involved with this barbecue. You've been the co-chairs for the last 3 years.
Oh yeah, we started this a few years ago. Just wanted to get involved, and what they say, once you get involved and you do a good job and you work really hard, they put you in charge of it. So
yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
Usually how it works, indeed. This is a big event and caps off a long 2-week celebration for Lacey, City of Lacey, the Lacey Chamber of Commerce, a lot of businesses and merchants and everybody involved. Seems to be a real complete group effort by all the community of Lacey, not only in putting it on, but in supporting it. How's the turnout been?
For Lacey Days?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been awesome. People are so excited about it. And for a first year putting it on,
yeah.
Every time we run into somebody, we'll try to give them a catalog, and they're like, "Oh, I already have one. I've already been doing this." I'm like, "Really? Awesome! It worked."
Great. There's a lot of stuff to do. There has been a lot of things to do, and this big deal on the 11th starts at 10, goes until 5. SouthSoundBBQFestival.com is the website that you can check out. Free admission, right?
Oh yeah,
free.
So you can check out some things, and so there is a range of ways people can enter. Now, if I am just a guy in my house and I like to, I fancy myself a barbecue person, but I don't want to compete against like the professionals.
Mm-hmm.
There are options, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I think it's $100. You can come in, bring your barbecue, enter in different areas of the competition for beef and brisket and pork, and just show off your barbecue cooking styles.
Do you have to bring your barbecue unit with you, and you bring your own meat?
Listen, if I'm competing, I'm taking my own gear with me.
Your stuff. And your own, obviously your own seasonings and all that
It's
jazz,
a big deal.
Oh my gosh. People come in the night before, they stay the night, they cook 15 hours, and man, it is just fantastic. We have food judges that are judging throughout the day, and we have prizes. Cabela's donates some really cool prizes for the contestants, and it's the most awesome experience, that I can.
It makes me wish I actually knew how to barbecue. But I get snacks through the day from them.
Yeah.
My favorite last year was there's an other category, and somebody actually barbecued an apple pie with bacon in it.
Wow,
it was awesome.
That sounds.
Now
good.
that is a stretch, but I'd go for that. So lots of different categories that people could enter.
Yeah.
Is it too late to get into it now?
It
yet?
is not.
Nope.
It's not.
You can
We
still
have
get
people
in.
sign up until Friday.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Okay. All right. Very good. And
So-
how would they go about doing that?
They would contact the Lacey South Sound Chamber.
All right.
You want the phone number?
Sure.
360-491-4141.
There you
You can talk to Sierra
Or Carissa.
Right.
or Carissa.
Chris, all right. And we had Sierra on the air with us here a week or so ago.
Yeah, so it looks
talking
like,
about some of this stuff.
looks like things kind of get underway about 10 o'clock on Saturday, and there's some Zumba, so you can get a workout in before you eat all that barbecue throughout the day.
I'm hoping it brings a big appetite.
Yeah, for sure. And then the bands that'll be playing, and then Spike and the Impalers on that Saturday night.
Yep. So that's going to be the grand finale of Lacey Days.
Okay.
So that's Spike and the Impalers. And it'll be great because you can come and we'll have the sports garden for the barbecue fest just kind of wrapping up. So you
Sports
can go.
garden means beer garden.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what they're calling it?
It's called a sports garden now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is a family-friendly event. We,
Sure.
we
Yeah.
really want to emphasize that. This is
Yeah.
not a beer fest. This is a family event. You come out with the whole family, have a good time, see the local community, the local businesses, and everybody, and just enjoy the scents, the smells, the awesomeness of what the area has to offer.
Do you all barbecue then? Do you put in for barbecuing for this contest?
No, we don't, because we're just so busy, and we have our business booth set up because we want people to see us, and
Sure.
and we're all over the place, and we're talking back and forth with each other and putting out, quote unquote fires. What's happening? Make sure that the festival is going as smooth as possible.
When people come out, can they? Are there certain like samplers that they can get from the different contestants? Are
No.
there food vendors out there?
There are pro food vendors, and every pro food vendor is supposed to have a $2 taste. So
Okay.
you can actually
That's what I was trying.
get
Yeah.
a good variety of tastes. The Backyard Joes will sometimes give you a sample, but
They're
I
really
would just
not
go to the pros.
supposed
They're
to,
not
but-
supposed to.
Oh, sure. I probably
They've
can
got
see
all
why.
this stuff.
And then the judges, I'm sure, have a very tough job.
He actually judged a few years ago.
So talk to us about that. What was it like?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's
How do you pick your favorite barbecue?
it's really tough, and we've tried over the years to get professional food judges, and we're going to continue to try to get more professional food judges. But we also have a mix of just community leaders that help, and members of the community that help judge, and it's tough. So a couple years ago, I did it, and we had so much food coming in, and it's like I had this massive bag of just tons of different kinds of barbecue, and you have to pick through it. And there's some really good stuff, but there's some other stuff that, in my opinion, I wouldn't say it was the best. So
Sure.
you have to really be love to eat to be able to.
So they got the category like 3-alarm fire, smoke out your ears category to the most unusual seasonings. I mean,
So
they
they have chicken, they have pork, beef brisket,
baby back
seafood,
ribs,
and other.
and seafood too, barbecued seafood,
yum.
which sounds really good.
That does sound good.
Bacon rack.
I mean, I actually do feel sorry for the judges, though. When you see them starting at 1, they're all like, "Yeah, I'm in this," and at 4 o'clock, they are full.
Oh,
they're
they
very
don't even want to
full
look at food
because you're eating 3 hours
How do you
straight.
clean your palate in between? I mean, because you don't want to taste the previous.
They have a beer sports garden.
Oh, that's right, the sports garden.
Oh yeah, have a root beer. Or, have a nice refreshing beer in between.
Kind of clear the palate. Oh man, that's a tough job there this Saturday.
Or have some ice cream from Ben and Jerry's.
Ooh,
oh,
not
man.
a bad idea.
Hunter Park all day this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it is family friendly. It just sounds like a great. And this is just 3 years old. The event, or 5 years old now.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the 5th. And this is a great way for local businesses to get involved. That's really, this is. It's just an overall great experience for the community at whole. The Lacey South Sound Chamber, and we just we love it, and it's really been.
So
a
there
passion.
is a way for people to win a prize without even spending $1 walking in the door.
How is that?
So you get there and you stop at one of the info booths and get a pit pass, and if you stop at 15 different vendors, the non-food vendors, so your banks, your businesses like ours, then you turn it in at the one of the main booths, and that's what I do all day is I pull raffle prizes,
random,
and all the vendors have donated prizes that are about $25 value or higher.
Wow.
So you can walk through all those people.
Have fun.
Now, good luck trying not to eat. If you're once you get out of your car, you smell barbecue, but it's awesome. So you can walk out of there with a prize.
What a fun day.
It really is a fun day. Starts at about 10, goes until the evening with Spike and the Impalers playing. SouthSoundBBQFestival.com is the website. We'll put the link up on our website and Facebook page. So Hunter Park is behind the Fred Meyer, right next to the Lacey DMV there.
Yep, Correct. Woodland Square Loop.
Yeah, pretty nice little park area.
Yeah, you can't miss it. You just you go down College and take a right and
or Sleater Kinney and take a left.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Oh, either or.
Yep.
Either or
There's
works.
plenty of parking, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is very good. Parking is free.
Yep.
Parking is free.
All right, very good. And are there some trees for shade?
There is.
There is. There's grass for sitting.
That sounds like a perfect way to spend a Saturday.
It's a great little park.
Gather up friends and family and head on over to Hunter Park for the big event, the big culmination of a whole 2-week celebration, but the South Sound Barbecue Festival coming up.
It's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
And have fun this Saturday. Sounds like you guys know how to do that.
Oh, we do.
If it was up to me, that's all I would do.
Just barbecue, going
that
around.
That is awesome.
I like
Dan and Shelly Nicholson. And it's, again, designsallday.com. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you both very much for coming in this morning. 7:50, Jeff.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more, including Mariners trivia on the way this morning. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Taylor Shellfish is a proud sponsor of the Environmentally Sound program. For 5 generations, the Taylor family's been stewards of a healthy and prosperous Puget Sound. In partnership with nature, Taylor Shellfish brings you the freshest, most sustainable shellfish you'll ever eat. Visit their store at 136 Southeast Lynch Road. Open daily from 10 to 6, and they're online at TaylorShellfishFarms.com. Green Diamond Resource Company has been on the landscape for over 120 years here in Mason County, growing and nurturing our working forests. These forests provide the best of all worlds: clean air and water, protection for fish and wildlife, areas for hunting, fishing, and other recreation, all
all while growing essential wood products from lumber to paper to renewable energy. At Green Diamond, stewardship is one of our core values and our business. We're proud of our role in keeping Mason County and Washington green.
The summer heats up as the Lucky Dog Casino celebrates its 15th anniversary. Selected Fridays in July, it's the 15K anniversary giveaway. There's $1,500 hot seat Thursdays, and every Saturday live music and barbecue outdoors in the parking lot. More information at myluckydog.com. Come on, get lucky during the 15th anniversary of the Lucky Dog Casino, minutes north of Shelton on Highway 101.
Hey, Paul, looks like we're coffee twins. We both got McCafes.
Oh, you mean my bean brew?
Drink this toasty roasty, Joe, bro.
Whoa, Tom. Don't get all weird on me.
My bad.
Whatever you call it, you'll love a rich, smooth, fresh brewed McCafe coffee from McDonald's. And now get any size McCafe coffee for just $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
A la carte only. Prices and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
This is the sound of a Minion. This is the sound of a Minion peeling back a Minion Mania Instant Win food prize game piece at McDonald's. And this is the sound of you winning $250,000 in the Minion Mania online sweepstakes. Oh yeah, oh yeah! When it comes to joy, we all speak the same language. This summer, if you're 13 or older and a U.S. resident, come play Minion Mania at McDonald's. You can play in the restaurant only until August 3rd. And check out the new movie Minions only in theaters. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Official rules in restaurant and at minions@mcd.com.
It's the 7th annual Golf Classic, benefiting Turning Point Domestic Violence Shelter. Saturday, July 11th, come out to beautiful Lake Limerick Golf Course for a day of fun, food, and prizes. Your $100 entry goes to support Turning Point's shelter operation, housing, and helping victims of domestic violence. You receive breakfast, tea prizes, and a delicious feast after a grueling day on the links. Saturday, July 11th. We'll see you at Lake Limerick.
Friday, July 24th, Lucky Eagle Casino invites you to catch up with legendary rock band Foghat. That's right, Foghat will roll into town for one awesome show at Lucky Eagle Casino, July 24th at 8 p.m. Tickets start at just $20 for Players Club members and are on sale now at LuckyEagle.com and the Lucky Eagle box office. Don't miss Foghat, live July 24th at Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel, I-5 to exit 88, Rochester, Washington, where you belong.
Hi, this is 35th District Representative Drew McEwen, and you're listening to Daybreak, Jeff and Dale.
He's not supposed to be on already.
No, he's got 15 minutes before we talk to Drew, but he is going to be on the air with us in a little bit. But now, Dale.
360-462-1041. 462-1041. Give a call to the studio right now to play Mariner Trivia with us. Win a family 4-pack to the Skyline Drive-In and qualify for tomorrow's drawing for Mariner tickets.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game. The Jamie Moyer Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I still think they're gonna try to get him on to might as well just stay out there, Jamie. We've brought you your uniform and
just stay there. Here's your gloves,
please.
And here's your cleats. You're not going home tonight. I'm going to up the ante. This is a family 6-pack.
Heyo.
To the Skyline
Sounds like you need a family truckster to get there.
You might want to pack the van up and head for the drive-in.
That's quite a lot of folks.
You do take the van, remember to be aware that there's other people at the drive-in too, so park in one of the back rows.
Front row.
The front row. All right, 462-1041. Tell me how many runs the Mariners scored in 14 scoring opportunities last night. They lost 5-4 yesterday afternoon to the Detroit Tigers, and they went. They had runners in scoring position 14 times yesterday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did they manage to get somebody across the plate in those 14 opportunities? If you know the answer, give a call, 462-1041. If you're not in this cycle, and give us a call, tell us the correct answer, and get the 6-pack to the drive-in and qualify for tomorrow's drawing. Just that easy.
So today's the last day for the double feature of Terminator Genesis and Jurassic World. That's what's playing.
So that's a nice double feature.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids out of school now and people on vacations this week. And
holy moly. And then starting on July 10, which is tomorrow, the hit movie Inside Out from Pixar.
Yes.
People are loving this
They're
movie.
loving that movie.
They're thinking Academy Awards. So
Really?
the double feature for that one is the Terminator one again. Saturday is Kids Day at the Skyline, featuring a magic show, a dunk tank, 75-cent hot dogs, and
idea.
more. Gates open at 6:30 for Kids Day. That is coming up Saturday, it looks like. Checking it out on SkylineDrive-in.com.
Well, so there it is. It's all laid out for you. Give us a call and get the six-pack and get the gang together. Maybe have some fun on Saturday out at the Skyline Drive-In and get those tickets for the Jamie Moyer bobblehead All-Star, not All-Star, but Hall of Fame, Mariner Hall of Fame. Jamie's on his way to.
You think you go to the real Hall of Fame?
He's got a chance just by virtue of longevity.
I can't imagine he is a first rounder, though.
No, it would be a long shot, really, to be honest with you. But he sure is a wonderful man. He and his wife have a foundation in Seattle still that they work every year, and they make their home here. And very cool person and part of Seattle Mariner history, to be sure. Kenny Chesney and Steve Miller. They were on Crossroads on this date in 2010.
Is that Mariners or?
Yes. Do we have a player? We got a player.
Hi, KMAS. You're on the air with us right now, and who are we talking to?
This is Gary.
How's it going?
Hey, Gary. How are you?
It's going good. My dog's at work.
Your dog's excited.
There's a dog. You know, tonight is Bark at the Park up at the safe.
Awesome.
So you could take your dog up to. It's all sold out this year, but next year, just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we got Mariners trivia for you. What's the question, Dale?
So, Gary, the Mariners had 14 opportunities last night with runners in scoring position. My question is, how many times were they successful in those 14 opportunities?
2.
Oh, Gary, you're just a couple off.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
All right.
Nice try.
But thank you for playing. Thanks for calling. And
okay.
Have a great day. Yeah, thanks. All right. So
7:58 at KMAS.
Yeah. So 14 opportunities with runners in scoring position. How many times did the M's capitalize on that? In other words, how many times were they successful in 14 run scoring opportunities? Did I say that? Okay.
I think that's, it's a little complex, but whatever. 7:58 here at Daybreak. We still have the phone lines
not an
open.
easy thing to say.
We'll take a quick break, and we've got ABC News coming up next here on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Weekend Warrior Specials at Napa. This weekend, save on popular weights of Napa conventional motor oil. Just $1.99 a quart. Limit 24. Get a free Napa Racing and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund cap with any $25 purchase while supplies last. Napa will donate $1 to Intrepid for every cap given away. Save big on a 40-ounce trigger spray bottle of Purple Power industrial strength cleaner. Safer with a wireless backup camera system. A whopping $70 off at just $79. The easy-to-install kit includes camera, color monitor, transmitter, and wiring. And boom, it's going to qualify me for a free Napa Racing and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fun Cap. Get your Napa Weekend Warrior Specials at this participating Napa Auto Parts store.
Napa Auto Parts in Belfair and Shelton.
Glaucoma is often called the silent thief of sight because it typically shows no symptoms until damage to the eye has already occurred. Mason General Hospital Eye Clinic wants to remind everyone of the importance of having regular eye exams in order to prevent, detect, and correct issues of the eyes, such as glaucoma, the risk for which increases with age. The Eye Clinic has a full-time, board-certified ophthalmologist, eye surgeon, who may be able to diagnose a problem early enough to prevent permanent vision loss caused by a disease such as glaucoma. Call the Eye Clinic for an appointment today, 426-8717.
Mason General Hospital Eye Clinic is a part of Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider, translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, live and local, weekdays from 6 to 9 on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Up more than 1% at the bell. The Dow Jones Industrial Average more than 200 points higher. The computer issue that shut down the exchange for nearly 4 hours apparently is fixed, but it's actually the overnight rebound in China responsible for today's restoration of confidence here.
Investigators say there was no evidence of foul play in yesterday's outage, but some say it's a striking coincidence that it happened at the same time as United Airlines. The number of Americans claiming first-time jobless benefits rose 15,000 last week. Some blame seasonal layoffs. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley applauded state House members for having the great dignity to vote to remove the Confederate battle flag from the Capitol grounds and has vowed to sign the measure at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. ABC's Jim Ryan is there.
The debate is over and the lobbying is done. Now comes the matter of physically taking down this symbol of the Old South. Once the governor signs the measure that she herself had pushed for, the Confederate battle banner, the flagpole it hangs from, and the iron fence that surrounds it will be removed. For now, the plan is to ceremoniously transport the flag to the Confederate Relic Room, where other Civil War mementos are displayed. Jim Ryan, ABC News, at the State House in Columbia, South Carolina.
Do your homework. It could save your life. A startling new study suggests a lack of education can be as toxic as smoking. Researchers found people who finished high school had a lower mortality rate than dropouts, and those who graduated from college had lower rates than those without degrees. The numbers were similar to smoking rates. Pregnant women should steer clear of Prozac and Paxil, according to a CDC study. It found evidence of a link to birth defects, but researchers say not all antidepressants have those links, and for some, the benefits outweigh the risks. This is ABC News.
Turbo engines rule the road these days. Sure, they're cool, but they run hot. Take the piston skirt. It can reach over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Burning your cherry pie is one thing, but your cherry red coupe? That's why Pennzoil synthetic motor oils are designed to protect your engine, even in extreme temperatures. So fire up your turbo and protect it at the same time. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics and take performance to a whole new level. Stop by AutoZone for great deals on Pennzoil, now through July 27th.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
A violent home invasion in Bradenton, Florida, has left the parents of 5 children dead and the entire community shaken. More from ABC's Samantha Jordan.
The 5 kids were only rooms away when police say a group of 4 or 5 masked intruders burst into the home in the middle of the night and opened fire. The mother and father both found dead near the front door. Bradenton police tell us that none of the children were hurt, and they are being interviewed to see just how much of this crime they witnessed. So far, no arrests have been made, and it's not known whether this was random or the house was targeted. The kids are in the custody of Child Protective Services. Samantha Jordan, ABC News, Orlando.
Restaurant goers will have to wait until late next year to see calorie counts on all chain restaurant menus. The FDA is extending the deadline for them to comply with the new labeling rules to December of 2016 to give them more time to put the rules in place. The agency says the franchise are currently in the process of training workers, installing menus and menu boards, and developing software. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMASnewsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The body of a 79-year-old man was found after 2 buildings were destroyed by fire in Olympia yesterday morning. Fire officials were called to 78th Avenue Southeast at 2:46 a.m., arriving to find fire in the 2 buildings and the property between them. According to the Thurston County Sheriff's Office, a man and a woman living on the property started a fire in a burn pile behind the victim's home. The fire got out of control and spread to the victim's home, who was inside at the time. The woman suffered minor burns trying to unsuccessfully rescue the 79-year-old from the home. TCSO said that after initial investigation, it was revealed that Nicole McPherson, age 32, and Aaron Myers, age 39, were outside burning debris in a homemade fire pit in the backyard of the home. According to witness reports, there was an explosion which quickly spread to the home. McPherson was later arrested on an outstanding felony warrant and booked into the Thurston County Jail. Aaron Myers was reported to have run from the scene prior to the arrival of the fire department and deputies. The Ridge Motorsports Park has announced the formal name of the scale kart track that has been under development since this spring. The name is the Olympic Grand Prix Kart Track at the Ridge Motorsports Park. General Manager Fred Wright says the name pays tribute to and identifies with the breathtaking beauty of our nearby Olympic National Forest. The U.S. Army says it's moving its Western Medical Headquarters from Washington State to Hawaii. The Western Regional Medical Command, which is in charge of Army hospitals in 20 Western states, is at Joint Base Lewis McChord. The command has about 165 employees, led by a major general. Army officials say civilian employees will be given opportunities to move to Hawaii. Don't miss our primary election candidates forum Thursday night, July 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. You're invited to attend in person at Mason County Public Works Facility or listen to our live broadcast on KMAS AM 1030, FM 104.1, and FM 92.9, plus live video and audio on KMAS.com. Be part of the process. Send us your questions for the candidates to KMASnews@KMAS.com or bring your questions with you to the broadcast. There are 20 candidates running for local offices, the mayor of Shelton, plus the commissioner of finance and accounting, in addition to the Port of Shelton, with one commissioner race and 10 candidates running for 4 positions on the Shelton School District Board. KMAS wants to thank the Government Affairs Committee of the Shelton Chamber for their participation in this year's forum. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Mariners Trivia continues on KMAS News Radio during Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. The next drawing is July 10th for 2 tickets for the August 8th game against the Texas Rangers. It's also Jamie Moyer Mariners Hall of Fame Day. That means the first 20,000 fans will get a Jamie Moyer Mariners Hall of Fame Day bobblehead. So be ready to play Mariners Trivia during Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Excuse me, ma'am.
We're trying to sleep here.
Yes, ma'am, but this isn't a motel. It's the Olympia Furniture Company showroom.
I just couldn't wait to try it out. I figure it's kind of like a test drive before you take the car home, right?
Here at Olympia Furniture Company, we offer home delivery. We'll even set it up for you.
But we kind of live far out in Mason County.
That's no problem. Let's ring you up so you can get home.
Oh, right. Well, he's a very hard sleeper. Do you think you could just put him in with the new furniture?
The Olympia Furniture Company delivers more than just furniture. They deliver quality, value, huge selection, and the occasional husband.
Inside and outside the park homers on Wednesday night. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. In Kansas City, Royals' Jared Dyson took advantage of a misplayed ball and his speed to touch them all.
Lined up the left field line to Jesus in pursuit. He dives, and he missed it. Escobar scores. Dyson around third. Dyson with an inside the park home run.
On KCSP, and that was the second inside the park homer in that game. Rays' Logan Forsythe and an inside the parker that resulted in Alex Gordon injuring his groin. Royals beat the Rays 9-7. In Los Angeles, pitcher Clayton Kershaw had Phillies bats waving at air.
The 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball got him looking. Strike 3. Kershaw with a season high 13 strikeouts.
And Kershaw gets the complete game shutout as heard on KLAC, and the Dodgers get the 5-0 win over Philadelphia. The Cardinals trailed 5-4 at Wrigley Field with 2 outs in the 9th until
a swing, and there's a drive. Hit deep to left field. Way back. It's a gunner. Peralta gives the Cardinals the lead.
On KMOX, St. Louis stuns the Cubs 6-5. In Denver, Mike Trout took advantage of the thin air, smacking 2 homers. He has 24 on the season. The Angels snapped the tie in the top of the 9th inning.
It's a ground ball that's going to get through on the left side for a base hit. A run will score. The Angels have the lead. Giavotella does it again.
On KLAA, the Angels win 3-2 on the south side of Chicago.
ball. He goes deep. He wins it on a home run. Light it up. Sox win 11.
On 670, the score, Sox top the Jays 7-6 in 11 innings. To the NBA 5 days ago, DeAndre Jordan set to sign a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Mavericks. 5 days later, Jordan had guests over his house, among them Clippers head coach Doc Rivers and owner Steve Ballmer. They convinced him to stay in L.A., signing a 4-year max deal worth up to an estimated $88 million. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County. And we are streaming online, audio and video, KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. And the Mariners lose to the Detroit Tigers 5-4 yesterday afternoon, a matinee getaway game for the Tigers, and they win the series 2-1. Mariners didn't have much to blow their horn about, as they had 14 opportunities with runners in scoring position and capitalized on 0 of those opportunities.
Deb called in and got the right answer, so we did have a qualifier.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So we, because we had calls from Charlene and Gary, and so Deb got it right.
Yeah. All
right, 0 for 14 runners in scoring position, and that is bad news for the Mariners. Good news for Deb.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and I don't know if this is good news or bad news. The Los Angeles Angels are in town. Normally, we kind of lick our chops getting to play American League West team because those are our rivals, and we are pretty straight up. You know, when it's all boiled down, we play pretty good against our own division. The Angels are on a tear. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. They're on a 5-game winning streak, and Seattle's about going the opposite direction right now, having lost 2 of 3 to Detroit. And they are having a hard time scoring with runners there on second and third base. That frustrates the pitching staff. Bullpen, lots of new names, a lot of guys that have been on relief duty earlier in the season are sent down to Tacoma to try to figure it out because they weren't doing their job. And so now we've got some other youngsters up here now learning what it takes to be a big league relief pitcher. And it's just things are a little bit rickety, a little bit scary for the Mariners. We'll see what happens. Maybe we won't even need the bullpen tonight because Felix, the King's Court, is in session tonight. Going to be a big game, big matchup. Felix Hernandez for Seattle going for his 11th win on the season up against Garrett Richards, one of the aces for the Angels, and he is 9-5 on the season. Felix is 10-5 on the season. Should be a good game tonight. On the radio, we begin our coverage at 6. The first pitch just a touch past 7.
South forecast here. Let's see, we're starting out the morning. It seems a little different out there. A little cloudy, a little hazy, 60 or so. 85 was the high at Sanderson Field yesterday, thinking maybe 83 or so today. 75 tomorrow, 70 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. As I mentioned, it's 60 right now.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from Shelton's Media Row, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
It's 8:14 here at KMAS, KMAS.com, and on the line here this Thursday, and every Thursday for the last couple months or so, we've been talking to 35th
for years, it seems like even.
District Representative Drew McEwen. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we today?
Good to see you out at the Alderbrook last weekend for the big Thunder on the Canal and the oyster eating challenge.
Yeah, boy, that's a lot of oysters.
Isn't it? Those folks that sat there, better than me. You know, I couldn't do it.
I'm good for half a dozen, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, you're a good coach, so you did a good job up there.
For sure. So
my guy came up a little short, but hey, he's got a year to stretch and work on it.
That's right. Exactly right.
And you can't be with the winning oyster eater every year. You know, it just won't happen.
People would wonder what you're telling them.
That's crazy. Didn't tell you that. Well, that's the bad. Now, are you on your way to Olympia to sign some papers today, or what's the story?
No, so the story is the Senate's going to meet today, and in theory they will vote out the things that they were supposed to have voted out last week when the meltdown happened, and get their end of the deal done. And then those of us in the House, we're going to be there tomorrow, and if everything goes to plan, we will be done with a couple of hours of work and put this whole thing to bed once and for all. So that's the plan. What transpired, one of the things that the Senate Democrats were hung up on last week is, right now at the high school level we have a variety of tests that our students have to take in order to graduate. One of those that is a big point of contention is the biology end of course exam, and it's usually taken, I believe, in your sophomore year. And I, for one, I think we way over test on this stuff. To me, if you have solid curriculum and you pass the course, you pass the course. I don't think we need to then go and do more testing beyond that, but that is the current situation. And so the issue with this particular bill, this biology one, is probably one of the least passed ones out of the different end of course exams that are taken. And its impact, I mean, this impacts a variety of students. I mean, all those from your C student, onto your A students, and there's a fair number that struggle with this particular test. And again, I'm an advocate for lowering the number of tests we take, not lowering the curriculum or the standards. But I have a hard time with the number of tests that we're doing. And so this particular bill that Representative Chris Reichel introduced, we passed it in the House 3 or 4 92 to 6, I believe, and the Senate has refused to take it up. That bill was never part of the budget negotiation, but in that last day, which should have been our last day, a fair number of Senate Democrats, believe strongly that bill needed to be enacted, and that was one of the reasons why they backed out of the agreed budget deal, was because they wanted that bill to go through. Again, I think that's a little disingenuous to do when you have an agreement on getting out of there and having a budget put into place, but water under the bridge at this point. And so my understanding is what was agreed upon yesterday is the Senate is going to allow that bill to come to a vote with some modifications. I'm not clear yet on what they are. I think it's a temporary suspension, not a permanent. So they will pass that. They'll then pass the bonding for the capital budget, the transportation, and then also the big one is the suspension of 1351, which would be a $2 billion budget buster, and pass that. And that was really the big hang-up that is necessary to implement the budget. And so then what will happen is tomorrow in the House we'll come in, we'll vote. We only have left the transportation bond and the projects, the transportation projects, but then we'll have to re-vote this end-of-course suspension bill because they're going to make some changes to it. So we'll vote that one again. So unless there's unless something more happens in the next 24 hours, that's the plan, and we will adjourn once and for all and kiss the 2015 session goodbye, and go recoup for the next 5 months.
We were in discussions earlier this morning, Jeff and I, Drew, and we were talking about Initiative 1351, an initiative that was passed by the voters. And now it is being suspended for 4 years. Is that our correct understanding on this?
Correct, yes.
And so what's that tell the voters when they vote to have an initiative? And there might be certainly some sculpting that needs to be done to financially be able to pull something off. We understand there's construction that has to be added to the school districts to accommodate smaller classrooms. We understand there's going to be more teachers needed, and we're not prepared to do that now. But could this not be assimilated in a stair-step type process so that at least some classes would be able to benefit from this initiative immediately? Or is it been decided that a 4-year suspension is the best way to approach this? And will you be ready in 4 years to enact the initiative?
So a couple of things on that. One, generally speaking, by and large, when the voters pass something, I'm a believer in sticking to the will of the voters. However, this initiative did not identify a funding source. Over the course of a 4-year budget, it's estimated to be a $4 to $6 billion cost, and there was no way to pay for it. And so how can we implement something that we don't, frankly, have the money for? It'd be no different, to exaggerate, to make the point. So if the voters passed an initiative to do, whatever, and it had a $100 billion price tag, you're telling me that we would have to do it? There's no way we could. And again, I'm just exaggerating that to make the point. And so we're in this position. I've advocated for lower class sizes in K through 3, and in last year, and had a bipartisan bill that passed on that. It stalled in the Senate, but looking at the current budget and the investments we've made in education, we do have funding in there for lower class sizes in K through 3. That initiative was K through 12. So we are taking steps to lower class size immediately. We're doing it in a different method than what 1351 dictated. I think there are a lot of flaws in 1351 because it's not just about lower class size. It's also a budget buster for local school districts because of the local contribution. And yet school districts that are just like, there's no way we can live up to our end of the deal in this. And so that's a big issue. We are making investments right now. This is the largest K-12 budget ever in our state's history. It's the largest percentage increase since 1980, and we are making investments to lower class size in K through 3. So we are taking those steps. How this plays out 4 years from now, I think we get this implementation on K through 3 lower class size done, and we go from there and we see what's working, what's not working.
Okay, well that explains it a little bit. We're a little bit, why do the authors of these initiatives? I guess they just ask for the moon and hope that it goes through, and then work out the details and how they come up with the money later. But that is a good explanation, and that makes a little bit more sense. And it is good and encouraging to know that there is some class size reduction going on in the K through 3, moving immediately in that direction.
Yep.
You left us with quite a statement last week that made the news.
Yeah.
And can we get a follow-up commentary on this, as it has been denied? The allegations of drinking after hours in the Capitol last week, and we just wanted to get maybe one more final comment on that from you.
Yep, and I haven't made any subsequent comments since last week. I just I thought it'd be better to let the issue die. It's not going to forward the process and getting us out of there, and that's why I let it go after last week. And so my comments were out of frustration. I observed and I heard some things without having all the facts, and to either substantiate it or to fully put it down. And so in frustration of the process of what happened, I made a statement that probably should have waited. And, it's always better to probably bite your tongue and so you know all the facts behind something. And I just was out of frustration. And I have shared that with my colleagues. I've chosen not to do that through the media because I believe it just continues to progress that story, and that story does not help resolve the issues between the Senate and the House. And so, I should not have made the statement, and we should have just continued to move forward. And I think the issue is done, and and I have expressed that privately with those that have addressed it to me.
Well, one who has had the taste of leather in his mouth, myself, I can appreciate that. So emotions sometimes carry the day, and in retrospect, maybe I don't know. We always practice to be level-headed. It doesn't always come out that way.
That is true.
Drew, hopefully we can get you in for a post-session wrap in the next couple of weeks. I know you're going to, and you definitely deserve a little bit of time off from thinking about this that's been going on. But we would love to have you in studio or over the phone again to check back on a kind of a wrap-up of the whole session and how you put a grade on it and stuff like that.
Will do. I'd be happy to do that.
All right, very good. Well, we'll talk to you in a week or two. You take some time for yourself, and best of luck. Get this thing all done this week for everybody and for everybody's sake. And then we look forward to chatting with you again here down the road.
Sounds good. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Drew McEwen, 35th District Representative from Union, and his take on the events and the impending agreement and adjournment of our session.
Exciting.
It is a little exciting, and it should be all put to bed by tomorrow sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Very good. We'll take a quick break. We got Veronica in today.
You're
Karen's
listening
golfing
to
today.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Weekend Warrior Specials at Napa. This weekend, save on popular weights of Napa conventional motor oil. Just $1.99 a quart. Limit 24. Get a free Napa Racing and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund cap with any $25 purchase while supplies last. Napa will donate $1 to Intrepid for every cap given away. Save big on a 40-ounce trigger spray bottle of Purple Power industrial strength cleaner degreaser. Just $1.99. Plus, whether you're on summer vacation or just backing out of the driveway, see more and drive safer with a wireless backup camera system. A whopping $70 off at just $79. The easy-to-install kit includes camera, color monitor, transmitter, and wiring. And boom, it's going to qualify me for a free Napa Racing and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund cap. Get your Napa Weekend Warrior Specials at this participating Napa Auto Parts store.
Napa Auto Parts in Belfair and Shelton.
The summer heats up as the Lucky Dog Casino celebrates its 15th anniversary. Selected Fridays in July, it's the 15K anniversary giveaway. There's $1,500 hot seat Thursdays, and every Saturday live music and barbecue outdoors in the parking lot. More information at myluckydog.com. Come on, get lucky during the 15th anniversary of the Lucky Dog Casino, minutes north of Shelton on Highway 101.
Hi, this is John Dobson from the Port of Shelton, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS Radio.
Thanks, John. Always good stuff happening during Port of Call. You can hear those interviews on the Daybreak page at KMAS. We have the news and stock numbers coming up in just a little bit, but Carol's in studio.
Hi, Carol Gardner.
Well, good morning, everybody.
We got to talk about some upcoming impending traffic issues that are happening in Mason County.
If you have driven north on 101, you probably
Way up north,
you probably noticed that part of the road is blocked off and it's sloughed off.
Yes.
And that's been a year. And it says, look for oncoming traffic, and you have to, like, on the honor system, wait for your turn and hope that nobody's,
I get so nervous about
I know.
situations.
It is sort of a weird situation.
They are going to have a temporary traffic signal now once they start this construction on that thing. So that'll help. It'll be one lane traffic probably now through the fall.
Yeah, as they work on it. So you can expect 15-minute delays when traveling through that area, but it won't be just up to you to hope that nobody else is coming while you're shooting through there.
It's about a 700-foot dash. So punch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. When I drove up there, I'm like, I hope no semis are coming while I'm trying to get through this.
We have Veronica on the line, but do you have a quick one, or you want to wait till after the news to?
I'll wait till after the news.
Other one? Okay, because we also have got Chief Moody coming in as well. But first, on the line, Veronica from Edward Jones. Good morning.
Well, good morning, guys. How are you doing today?
Quite well,
Good, thanks. How's Veronica?
I'm fabulous.
Good. Fabulous.
Enjoying this cool morning.
I know, right? It's quite a change.
How's the stock market today?
Well, it's looking pretty good. U.S. stocks are advancing with a rebound in Chinese equities, and as optimism grew that the Greek debt crisis won't spread. In domestic economic news, jobless claims rose last week, but remained at levels considered consistent with a firming labor market. On the earnings front, PepsiCo reported better than expected second quarter earnings and raised its full year earnings outlook as the snack and beverage giant reported stronger North America sales. U.S. bond prices are lower with strength in equities. So far this morning in the S&P 500, the best performing sector is financials, while the worst performing sector is utilities. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 170 points at 17,685. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is up 18 points at 2,064. The NASDAQ Composite Index is up 56 points at 4,966. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate, with 223 million shares traded. Advancers are outnumbering decliners by roughly a 5-to-1 margin. In commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up $5.15 to $1,163.61. The spot price of silver is up 27 cents to $15.42, and crude oil prices are up $1.08 to $52.73. In bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3.06%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.27%. In stocks of local interest, Amazon is up $7.25, Costco is down $1.31, Boeing is up $1.88, Starbucks is up $1.10, Microsoft is up 87 cents. This is Veronica filling in for Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton. If you would like additional information, you can contact her at 426-4590. Daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
All right. Thanks, Veronica.
Thanks so much. Have a good day, guys.
Talk to you later. Thank you. It's 8:30 now, KMAS. We're going to go back now to Carol, who's got an additional traffic update for us.
So we talked about Highway 101 north, up near the Jefferson County border.
Right.
Up there. Way up there along the canal. And there is some construction, and it's a slope stabilization project.
Which will last through the fall.
Which will last, for several months. So now we've got that, and then there's another little closer to home dealy, Bob, that's going to be happening.
Yes, on Johns Prairie Road, from milepost 3.77, which they call the old county shop, to Highway 3.
All right.
So it's going to be completely closed.
Both lanes
on Monday.
Johns Prairie Road
on July 13th. That's on Monday, July 13th. Yeah, to through traffic, and that's from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Weather permitting. I'm guessing it'll
be nice.
Might be nice.
Nice enough.
They're going to be chip sealing it. So make other plans. And if you have any questions, you can call the Public Works. We'll have this posted on our website and on our Facebook page.
Yeah, that'll throw a gnarl into a few people who aren't aware of that.
Yeah. Right.
Much like the dozens of phone calls we got about are there fireworks in Hoodsport last week?
Yeah.
And how come we never heard anything about it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is going to happen on
Monday.
Heard
about it.
Monday, July 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll have our news people talk about it again later this week.
So probably just avoid that area regardless, because you don't want to start heading down too far, because people are going to be turning around and
right.
It's going to be busy.
You just can't get through to Highway 3 from Johns Prairie on that day.
So Highway 3 traffic will just be routed straight into town. They won't even have a chance to make a decision.
Up the hill.
But people can invest some time and mileage into Johns Prairie from the Wallace-Neyland area.
Right.
And they'll get down in there and they'll go, turn around, go back. So just
that
a heads
road
up.
is
weird.
is conspicuously long.
Yeah, it seems never ending, doesn't it?
It is longer than you think, isn't it?
Did I miss the turnoff?
We've gone on it. Carol and I have gone on adventures on that road, and I've driven on that road many a times, and it just feels like, aren't I supposed to be on Highway 3 by now? What is going on? It's just a very long road.
It is deceivingly long.
That was the word I was looking for. 8:33 here at KMAS.
Long Johns Prairie.
That was a good newscast for sure. We'll take a break now and then come back with sports here on KMAS. Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
Stay, play, explore, and dine right in your own backyard this summer during Lacey Days. Enjoy a staycation from June 27th through July 12th. These are the best 2 weeks of summer in Lacey. From the America's Classic Jazz Festival June 27 and 28 through the South Sound Barbecue Festival on July 11, the Lacey Days calendar is packed with concerts, fireworks, sports events, dining discounts, and more. Lots of free activities for families, too. Visit LaceyDays.org for all the details. There we go.
Hey, what? Mariners lose to the Tigers yesterday. Beautiful day for a ball game. Good crowd. 5-4 the final, and the Tigers take the series 2-1. What could be worse than that? Well, oh, by the way, between the two teams, something like 19 home runs in 3 games.
So wait a second. I'm trying to figure this out.
And
here.
that matched the record.
The Mariners scored 4 runs.
4 runs this game.
So you're saying if they were a competitive team, they could have had 19 runs yesterday?
Well, they had 14 more scoring opportunities during the course of the game. So
it could have been 18 or 19-5.
Yeah.
Oh my
easily.
gosh.
If they'd have capitalized on 1 or 2 opportunities, they would have won the game.
V for victory.
So that is the most frustrating statistic there is. Runners in scoring position for folks who are casual fans of baseball. If you have a base runner that has made it past first to second base or third base, and then there's another batter up, that is a scoring opportunity with a runner in a scoring position. Because even a single will score somebody from second base.
Yeah, fast runner. So 180 feet.
Yeah.
From scoring an additional 14 runs.
Yeah, so that is a very frustrating statistic.
That is bad news.
And it's one that Seattle has been just brilliant at this year, not scoring with runners in scoring position. So that's enough of that. Let's move on. Let's turn the page. There's a beautiful thing about baseball. There's another game to... Beautiful night in Seattle for a ball game. Let's play 2. Pre-game at 6, first pitch a little after 7. I'm kidding about the 2. They're just playing 1 game tonight. Seattle's Nelson Cruz, who is the home run leader on the Mariners, and he is also noted as the longest home run of the year in the major leagues so far. He blasted a hit from Wandy Rodriguez of Texas on April 29th, 483 feet. Nearly 500 feet from home plate is where that ball would have landed had there been no bleachers or fences or anything to clear. If it had just been ground, just airborne, 483 feet.
Wow.
Pretty amazing shot. And that leads the major leagues right now thus far in the season. So that's pretty cool.
Got one more sports note for soccer fans out there. Next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, the 17th, Friday.
Yes.
Big doings at the Xbox 360 pitch. Man U, Manchester United, and Club America are playing in the International Champions Cup game.
Oh, really?
Friday at 8 o'clock.
So who's this America's team?
I don't know. I'll get some more information. But Club America, I think they're from Mexico City-based Club America.
Okay.
So Man U, Club America, Friday, July 17th at CenturyLink.
Good.
If you are interested in soccer at all, you know who Manchester United is. They're the perennial people. That's all they, that's happen, and you can get tickets.
Man U is like the Yankees.
Of
baseball.
Yeah.
Man U is one of the stoic, long franchises in Premier League soccer. Over in Europe. So very exciting. I hadn't heard about the team, Mexican-based Americans.
Yeah, Club America. That's the first I've heard of them, but for sure.
Probably in reference to South America.
They're on a preseason tour for Man U, so they're going to be around different stadiums throughout the country.
Yeah, well, why not the pitch there at 360?
I can only imagine it's going to be as busy as a regular season Seahawks game. At least 63,000 people.
Yeah, it'll be filled up. As big a crowd as they have for the Sounders.
They even have it set up so you can tell where you want to sit. If you're a Man U fan, you sit on the north side. Club America's on the south side. So pretty cool stuff.
All right.
So just wanted to make sure.
Doing our part for race relations.
Make sure we wanted to have that out there for you. All right, South Sound forecast. It's going to be a pretty nice day today. Cloudy. It was cloudy this morning and a little hazy. Felt cool as well.
But not the hazy shade of winter.
No, it's the hazy shade of summer.
That's exactly right. Hazy shade of the forest fires.
The forest fires. 61 or so now. 83s are high today, 75 tomorrow, and then into the 70s over the weekend.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, it is Daybreak here. We thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. There's a lot of opportunities for you to find your news and information elsewhere, but we do appreciate you starting it with us. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Absolutely.
Try to keep it as informative, but as light as possible when it comes to the day's news here for you.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, we're going to make way for Chief Moody here in a few minutes. And Officer of the Year.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
For sure.
On this, just again, one of those, just when you think you've found everything there is to find.
Yeah.
Was on this date in 2010, Jeff, an amateur treasure hunter, which you've kind of partook in that.
I fancy myself, perhaps.
Found over 52,000 buried Roman coins.
I've never done that.
Thanks to his trusty metal detector right along the highway in the UK. Worth $1 million.
Wow.
Pull over here.
I think there may be something going on.
The shoulder of the highway, nothing here but old newspaper. And look at that. Fish and chips box, because they're in the UK.
I got it.
Old vinegar bottle.
Some newspaper. Greasy.
Dig.
Wow.
52,000 buried Roman coins. I mean, that would be cool in itself.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so.
1872, Dale.
Yes, sir.
John Blondell patented something. He's from Thomaston, Maine. His name's John Blondell.
Just coincidentally, we're having police into the studio here.
I saw a bunch of cops the other day. I was just driving downtown in Olympia.
Where?
At Dew's Donuts. I don't know what they were doing. Hopefully they were for something else.
They were doing donuts, my friend.
It was an interesting.
Doing Dew's donuts.
I almost took a photo. Anyways, the donut cutter patented by John Blondell of Thomaston, Maine back in 1872.
Oh, man. And the rest is rock and roll donut history.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll focus on Shelton. If we didn't run the guys out, we'll talk with Chief Moody and Detective Moran, the Officer of the Year here in the city of Shelton.
Yes.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
This is Brian with the LaFlame Group at Eagle Home Mortgage, and we're here to present your real estate resource Mondays at 8:10 on Daybreak. Tune in and get to know the people that help you make the biggest decision of your life.
Real Estate Resource with Brian LaFlame from Eagle Home Mortgage. Mondays at 8:10 on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Learn how to make sense of the local home buying process.
Join me on Mondays as I talk with local professionals who help you every step of the way in your home purchasing process.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
Hi, this is Tom Davis, concerned citizen, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
844 here at KMAS, KMAS.com. Good morning to you. It's time for us to focus on Shelton, something we love to do here Thursdays at this time, brought to you by our Community Credit Union.
Yes, sir. And we want to welcome Police Chief Moody, Darren Moody. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, Chief. How are you?
I am great.
It's nice to have you in studio, and you've got a special guest with us this morning. You've brought the Shelton Police Officer of the Year.
Yes, I have for 2014. I know we're a few months behind in getting him over here, but
it's all right.
But when I got here you quickly develop a go-to person, and Calvin became my go-to person here. He got used to me yelling from my office, screaming, why are we doing this? What do we need to do to make it better? And Calvin was the kind of guy who, no matter what comes along, he steps up and offers his help to it. And he's not one of the people that just sits back and complains or talks about things. He gets them done. Often behind the scenes and quietly, and nobody knows, and everybody just asks, well, who took care of that? Well, Calvin did.
Wow.
And so his peers nominated him for Officer of the Year, and the command staff decided that it was fitting that because of some of the cases he's handled, because the workload that he takes on as the only detective sitting in our offices over there, that he be Officer of the Year for 2014.
Congratulations, Calvin.
Thank you.
It's a nice, prestigious honor to be sure. How long have you been with the Shelton Police Department?
About 8 years now.
Okay, and did you come from another law enforcement agency?
I did. I started here as a reserve in 2005, volunteering for about a year. Went to Elma for a couple of years, started there full time, and position came open here in Shelton, and I came back home.
Oh, nice. Are you, were you raised in this area?
Oh, yeah. Born and raised, Mason County.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Love it here. This is home.
So you're a detective, and as the chief mentioned, the only detective. What kind of stuff does a detective do in the city of Shelton?
Well, I just general detective work. Anything, usually felony related. Anything from, frauds, forgeries, check stuff, on up to homicide. I mean, anything in between.
So you just are able to spend maybe a little more time focusing on these cases as a patrol officer. I guess I'm not sure how it moves up the ranks to get to a detective looking at the case.
Sure. So, our black and white cars, our patrol officers, they go out, they take a call. If it's a felony level that's not in progress, needs follow-up investigation, you need to contact, get bank records, something like that. It gets sent to me, and, follow up, the suspect's not on scene, trying to develop leads and tracking a suspect in the case down. And attempting to take them into custody.
Very cool. Very nice.
Yeah, to be a detective, you got to have a lot of patience and a lot of follow-up. That's what I tell them.
Yeah.
Being a detective is follow up, because the guys just don't have time on the street to follow up on some of this, and so it ends up on his lap.
Not always a 9-to-5 type job either, is it?
No, I'm on call 24/7. Have a couple different assignments. As a detective, I'm also on the SWAT team here with the Mason County Regional SWAT team. Also on the Mason County Sniper team. Have my phone on me all the time.
Sure. Yeah. And I would suspect as a detective and you're investigating crimes and some of them spill over, you have to interact with the other law enforcement agencies in the region, the sheriff's department, that sort of thing, because not everything is confined to just city limit activity, though it may have started here or whatever, right?
That's correct. Goes all over the place. They're doing a internet crime case yesterday of MoneyGram wire fraud that was picked up in Kansas, and another one was picked up in, Portland, Maine. So, you got to work with all sorts of different agencies. And that's one of the great things about being a detective is, there's another person in our department like you doing the same thing, and we all work together to help each other out. And in the end, catch the bad guy and help the victim out.
Well, really, I guess it really sounds like that you care a lot. To be able to put in all this extra work that the chief was alluding to help out your fellow officers. It may be kind of awkward with him sitting right here, but how's Chief doing in this last couple months that you have been here?
It has been absolutely great.
You don't have to say that just because.
No. No, it's the truth. It's been a blast. It has been, motivating. Chief Moody came in very energetic, has some of the same visions that a lot of us have here in the community, not just at the police department, that, we have a great town, we have a great community, we have great people, just small town USA. And, we want to keep that, we want to keep that spirit alive. And just that, kind of small town police department too, where, we're police officers, but we're also, part of the community.
Your neighbors.
Yeah. We go to Little League with the rest of everybody else and soccer practice and at the end of the day, we're one huge community family, and he came in, saw that, has, kept some programs alive that were working, created some new ones, and is just doing a great job. Morale for us has improved, probably 100%, and everybody's motivated and to go out and do the best job they can.
Great.
Not always good for detectives, but the presence of police in Shelton has improved as well, and not in an intimidating way. Just the idea of seeing police officers around more often, I think, is this kind of a calming effect on the community as well. Like I say, as a detective, you don't necessarily want to be seen all the time, but the other uniformed police officers certainly do that as well.
It certainly had that effect on the 4th of July. I mean, we ended up with 5 officers out there through the night on 4th of July. And I went out with them for a couple hours, and we responded to about 100 firework calls in a 20-hour period.
Wow.
And it's difficult because in Mason County, it's legal.
Yeah.
And in the city of Shelton, it's not. There are places we butt right up against the county where on one side of the street they're shooting fireworks and on the other they're not.
Oh. Geez.
But I think, overall, we didn't cite people for fireworks, but we educated them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was really nice to see guys just up and down the streets nonstop all night long.
Man, and 100 calls in spite of the dangers of the dry weather that we've had, and in spite of all the
and that's just what we have within the city. That's not what Mason County took as a whole.
Right, right, yeah, busy. Well, thank you all for what you guys do all the time. Congratulations to you, Calvin.
Thank you.
Yeah, much deserved award. And Chief Moody, you're blowing and going there.
Can I throw one thing out real quick?
You
I'm
know
going to start
you
a
can.
discussion here, and we'll see how it gets debated as we move forward with this. I've
All right.
talked to a couple businesses downtown, and as you know, I'm downtown quite a bit. We talked to the Liquor Control Board about an alcohol impact area. Olympia and some others have done similar.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about not being able to sell alcohol or not being able to sell beer. I'm just saying designating areas where your high octane, high alcohol level, single 40-ounce malt liquor type is not sold. And so we're trying to talk about some voluntary compliance, because not just with the folks that Calvin and the other officers deal with that are intoxicated downtown, most of those are getting their $1.50 beer and a high octane level. And then we're picking up those cans all over town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure everybody here has seen a Steel Reserve can sitting somewhere out on downtown Shelton. And so it's something we're working with the businesses about, and I'd like input. If anybody out there is listening and wants to talk about it, give me a call.
A couple of years ago, we had a problem with this with a drink called Four Loko. Do you remember that Four Loko?
I do remember that.
And I don't know if they sell that currently still.
There's some for that one, Hurricane. Again, these are ones that are sometimes up to twice the alcohol content of a normal beer.
Right, and they're big.
And they're 40 ounce. And they're selling them for $1.50.
It's like an energy drink and liquor combined.
Exactly.
I mean, really,
especially in the summer months with the heat out here. You get guys that will buy a couple of these for $3 and they're passed out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're become an issue for the jail or us to deal with. And it's just a quality of life issue we're looking at.
These aren't necessarily sipping whiskeys, that someone will have on their back veranda. The whole point of this thing is to get drunk.
Yeah,
in my opinion, that's what I see.
Drunk quickly and cheaply.
Yeah, whatever you can do as quick as
And I have to
possible.
say, the manager of the liquor store downtown over by El Serape, great guy, met with him yesterday, and he said the exact thing. And he says, I'd be more than happy to comply if everybody else wants to get on board with it, because he said, in general, I don't sell as many of those.
Mhm.
And some of the people that are buying them are people that are obviously, like you said, looking for a quick drunk and sitting right out in front of his business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that cuts down on the foot traffic in his door when they're hanging around.
Oh, that's a good discussion.
It's a good idea, a good discussion. We'll keep the discussion going.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Chief Moody and our Officer of the Year, Calvin Moran. Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you. You guys have
All right. Thanks for all the work you guys do. 8:54, a couple of messages, and we'll come back to wrap up for the morning, right?
Yep.
All right.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Spring has sprung and summertime is here. It's time to shake off the cobwebs and explore the great outdoors. At our community credit union, we offer affordable RV and boat loans to help you experience your getaways year after year. OCCU RV loans are now as low as 4.74%, and boat loans as low as 7.45%. Whether you choose new or used, you get a great rate, affordable payments, and options to skip up to 2 payments each year. Make this the year you build memories in your new or used RV or boat. It's easy to do with a loan from OCCU. We serve anyone in Washington State. Visit us at ourcu.com or stop by any of our branch locations in Shelton, Union, McClary, Elma, Montesano, or Vashon. Our community credit union, making dreams come true one loan at a time. See you at the lake.
Loan rates are annual percentage fixed rates. Rates are conditional on approved credit, and some conditions apply to skip payments.
Hi, this is Jeremy Hicks from North Mason Regional Fire Authority, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS 1030.
8:56 here at Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, the old farmer, throughout the day. And we've got Tom Hartman coming up next, Dave Ramsey, Chad Benson, Mariners this evening.
At 6 o'clock. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And stay safe out there. Not a tremendously scorching day today. Should be fairly comfortable.
Yeah, it'll be a great day. 81 or so tomorrow, cooler 75, and then Saturday for a lot of things going on.
Break out the parka.
Yeah, really 70 on Saturday. So it's going to be a perfect day for those engaged in the Turning Point Domestic Violence Golf Tournament.
Yeah.
There's also the garden tour for the WSU Master Gardeners. It's going to be great to walk around on. You know, the other thing about being 71, bees and flying around
Will
things.
they be more active?
I would say no. I would say
if it's cooler?
If it's cooler, that would be no.
Yeah, I don't know. This heat seems to have knocked the wind out of their sails as little.
I see very few bees these days.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it's the heat, but I'm not sure. But
tomorrow we will get a chance for you to once again hear from the Shelton Mayor Gary Krantz during our candidate interviews. KMAS.com under the News tab 2015 Candidate Forum, or Voters Guide is what it's called, and you can click on that link. Our fishing and rec reports. Lance Lambert is going to call in at 8 o'clock tomorrow. He's the host of the Vintage Vehicle Show. You may have seen him out and about filming during this past
ABC News. I'm Brad Milkey, the Confederate flag.
Quit it. Yeah, it's not your turn yet, Brad. Man, jeez. Jeff was talking there.
Jeez, Brad. Anywho, Brad will be with you with the ABC News coming up in just a couple of minutes. But as I was saying, Lance Lambert, the host of Vintage Vehicle Show, will be tomorrow, and we'll give away a pair of Mariners tickets.
We will be giving away a pair of Mariner tickets, so you'll want to tune in to see if it's you that we give the tickets to. So play nice, kids. We will catch up with you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
If you're not already